check and see if we still got the ruckus on the outside from that the accident about an hour ago. So expect maybe there's going to be some delays in one or two spots. It's 6:40 in the morning. The YouTube feed is now live.
Half a day. This is Michelle from APL Guam. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam and on the U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
How do you keep your love alive? We want to know and share it with everyone in hopes we can all learn something new this Valentine's season. Submit your secret to love via WhatsApp 888-1043 or 888-1011. You'll have a chance to win some amazing Valentine's Day prizes from our fine sponsors: Vince Jewelers, Studio 211, Anywhere Clothing, Fontaine from GU Ink Hustle Tattoo and Body Piercing Studio, Tove's Flower Shop, and Stelstar. We'll be doing on-air giveaways as well as a grand prize giveaway. Don't miss out. It's simple. Send your secret to love via WhatsApp to Star 101 or Boss 104. One submission per person, so spread the word and let's spread the love.
40 to 10 meters. No, that's a bunch of the demands. So it stands up 30 feet, telescopic mask, wire, rope, spacers, hardware kit. All right, and you got it here. So I'm going to assume that it will ship to Guam. Yeah, bro. This is good. Yeah, because can you imagine this? I do this for 4 hours a day. What do you want to do on the weekend? Talking to radio. Where? I don't know. Bunch of old farts and retirees in Australia. I want to talk to those guys, too.
Come in, Yellow Jacket. Come in.
It's 6:42 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. Valentine's, it's in the air. A reminder, Valentine's this year falls on a Friday. All of the places. Okay, how about this? I'll give it to you this way. Valentine's this year will fall on a Friday during Operation Cope North. It's going to be busy everywhere.
Friday the 13th.
Anywhere. It will be busy everywhere. And that means you've got to get your reservations in now. Otherwise, you're going to be eating dinner next to a whole bunch of airmen.
Spam.
Exactly.
You're going to eat spam.
Hi, hon, I did something special for you. But anyway, make sure you get the reservations in. Call Mama Tove, get the flowers. I say you get the flowers and deliver it. That way you can guarantee it will be there when her office opens at 8 and she's got the flowers to stare at all day. I'm sure she's already cleared off an area in her desk, a little altar to love, and your flowers are the centerpiece. Make sure that gets there. And for lunch, or maybe a delightful dessert on Valentine's Day, Cold Stone Creamery. Give that somebody special a treat they deserve. Turn those moments into memories with the Truffles Are Forever ice cream cupcake. And they come in heart-shaped ice cream cakes as well. The Fudge Truffle Decadence. Treat your forever Valentine to Cold Stone Creamery, the ultimate ice cream experience. Okay, Real Joe went outside and reconnoitered the situation, the sit rep with the accident in front of the DPW main gate, and your discovery here today, sir?
It's all cleared up.
All cleared up.
Yeah, he can't park there.
I think they moved, Real Joe. I'm looking at the traffic sit rep up in Anderson Air Force Base, and so coming out of Gazanero, you will run into traffic if you are heading right on Marine Corps Drive. Now, it looks like it's going to slow down Matagwak up by the Zigu Gymnasium just before you get to Anderson Air Force Base. Not sure what the slowdown is. Maybe they, likewise, are getting ready for Cope North. February 3rd is when that starts, team. Southbound Marine Corps Drive. Otherwise, looking pretty good. Might see a little bit of traffic before you get to Mickey D's at the that intersection there. And then it's clear all the way down to past, where are we talking about here? Past intersection 1 and 3, Micronesia Mall intersection, running fairly clear this morning. You can take that southbound all the way down to 8, 10, and 16. No slowing down over at Rev and Tax because Motor Division, for the driver's license, not open this morning. I'll read that to you a little bit later on. Marine Corps Drive, clear all the way until you get to... Where's that intersection there, Real Joe? It's over by here, Kmark. intersection, running a little bit busy on Marine Corps Drive. Southbound from there is looking pretty good. You're going to get car line traffic all up and down San Antonio, so just be aware of that. Route 8 busy over by the McMobile, but it's clean all the way into town, and not a whole lot happening on Route 4. What is it? 645 should be busier by now, but not. Tiny bit of traffic just in the ORDOT area, and then down the hill into the downtown Hagåtña area. Marine Corps Drive from Hagåtña through Adelup and Assen and PD and Aniguac and all of that stuff, looking sweet all the way to the intersection of 1 and 2. You are going to find some traffic over at the mobile intersection in Apra, so just be aware of that. It's 645. There's your right now traffic. This is The Point.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that family vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,000 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña 475-4545 or Dedido 633-4473. Family Finance.
Need publicity for your big events? We've got a great feature on The Point's website to help you get your happening noticed for free. Just go to thepoint.gu and look for the community button. Click on submit your event and then fill in the blanks. You can even upload your flyer. Once we approve it, it'll show up on all Choice Broadcasting websites. Did I say it was free? From 5Ks to car washes, lunch plates, fundraisers, whatever. Let us help you get the word out. Free! Get started on thepoint.gu.
Rediscover talk radio here. Your FM News Talk Superstation. This is The Point.
Okay, I fixed it. YouTube Live's on. It's okay. We'll get there first. Gentleman Bush the month he got there.
You're the man.
Guam's Rebel. There's Brother Renee Lau. John Savar's hanging out on this side.
Jonathan.
Tommy Napatides and Ken Augustin. Everybody jumped over as soon as they heard the word that the YouTube is online. What's the matter? Who don't you like on the Facebook side? What is it?
I don't want to be seen over there.
I know it's going on. There's some guys over here on the YouTube going, yeah, but my ex is on. My ex is over on the Facebook side. I don't even want to risk it, man. I don't know.
God, the wounds.
Kim Aiken is checking in on the
morning,
program.
Kim.
Havalati
Turn
Salas. Bill Petit, Auntie Lolita Camet is online. Half a Day Realty. There's Pika's best right there. Rob Greeno. Ken Augustin says, Dem Party just needs to get together and vote for their minority leader. It's split. There's only 6 of them. There's no tiebreaker in there.
What do we got to do? Rock, paper, scissors?
I don't know.
It's
Duncan Poe, right?
Film wrestling.
Trial by combat.
Okay.
Trial by combat. That's the way we'll do that. Stephen Liz says, make sure you carry your identification card in CODIS or you will be deported. Not me, because I'm half white.
Yeah.
Mostly white.
He looks like he's from America.
I look like I could be from there. Rob Greeno's on that. 2 factions with Democrats all in, and you have no say in the other group. No way, Jose. Traffic is no more working at home. Margaret Estacio. Senator Will Parkinson is on the line here. The headline that
good morning.
The headline that you heard this morning with regard to my new minority leader, Will Parkinson. I'll be the tiebreaker. Will Parkinson can be the minority leader.
There you go.
Look, anybody that he's got 2A in his mind, but he's also got bunkers.
That's just crazy.
He's also got fallout shelters in his mind.
An underground city. With all the amenities.
Because I'm trying to, I put him on the list, right? I put him on the list.
You did.
Okay, because I want to know what he's got in mind for these fallout shelters. Because here's the thing.
Will there be dispensaries down there?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think there's a way to survive what might be coming. I don't know all the this and that. Yeah, I got to talk to Ismail about yields and kilotons and things like that. But I mean, we're not talking about a bomb. We're talking about a nuclear device here. It's not like horseshoes. I think it will hurt us no matter where it lands.
I just hope it's like a big mortar.
I don't think so.
No,
bro. No. I got a feeling that you build the fallout fallout shelter.
What do
That
they
just
mean by Guam
more
killer?
stuff falling on you. Making you, squashing you
Yes,
flat
the
underneath the
penetration.
debris of all of that. I don't even know. I mean, how deep would we need to go if I was going to do old style like 1950s Cold War era bunker in the
Ooh,
house?
I like it.
Like one of these big gas station tanks, and then convert that into a living space. Because I don't know.
Drop it down.
Yeah, because
Never come
where's
out.
the air going to come from? How much beer do I need to stash away? How long is the minimum downtime if we were to be targeted for some kind of nuclear annihilation, as the man would say? Just a thought. Dean and Liza Castro online, Auntie Bennett, Lujan Duenas. Rico says all my exes are dudes now. Okay, TMI. F. Ramos says I'm stopped at Polaris Point. Police had their lights on. Someone got cracked. Keep it under, Guam. All right, always good advice. Dale Undead, Keith Dixon, and Rob Greeno saying, thank you very much for the traffic. Happy to do that for you. And 10 away from the top of there. As I said, we've got this homeless problem. And did you see, I should have took a picture of it, but I was driving. And I don't like to, risk it that way. But have you seen the billboard in Agana? Did you see that one?
Oh, yeah.
So the billboard,
I graffitied it.
Did you? Did you put the okay,
Allegedly?
It has new graffiti on it. It's got new graffiti. Somebody will take a picture of it. So if you're on the road right now facing northbound, do me a favor, snag a picture of it, and see if you can do it right. If you do it right, you can get the actual homeless guy in there too. But get me the picture of the panhandler and then the panhandler billboard, because it says, AG Doug Moylan, hates poor people.
Yeah,
somebody drew 2 Valentines.
Oh, hearts.
Yeah. Put 2 hearts over that.
Isn't
that sweet? This is wonderful. Hey, 6:51 in the morning. Is that my classmate?
That's the speaker.
Speaker Darrow,
Yes.
Frank Blas Jr.
Mr. Speaker.
Checking in on the program here this morning. Buenos and day, Mr. Speaker. How you doing?
Good morning, Ray. How you doing?
Never
Good
better.
Morning, Joe, too.
No, never better. It's a fantastic day. It's the first full week of MAGA, and I don't know about you, but I'm just about loving practically everything that is coming out of Washington, D.C. these days. Pete Hegseth Shelley sent me a video this morning of Pete Hegseth again remembering Guam. He said he was thinking about the guys and the gals on Guam. So I don't know how we got into this guy's positive sites, but considering he's the new Secretary of Defense, that can only mean good things for Guam and the defense of our island.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, when you have the individual at the top of the food chain who knows, I guess that Guam is a conversation that's happening within his house. It is comforting, at least at that level. Mm-hmm. Now let's just see what we can do with that.
Well,
how we can leverage that.
What do you think? We got the bases here already. Got the submarines coming. They put a B-1B bomber up the street up at Anderson.
Well, yeah, and they got that, and so now let's work towards ensuring that the infrastructure and the community itself is not forgotten, and that we play an integral part of the defense or the maintenance and the sustenance of these facilities. And so that's
it's critical stuff. But I mean, as an example, I mean, it's just okay. Thanks very much, and glad we like the extra attention. Indo-PACOM is the hot button issue for the defense of the United States of America, and it's not just here. I mean, there's a whole story about how Trump in just the last 7 days is throwing all kinds of military assets in this area. I'll read you that story a little bit later on. So we're going to get a lot more boots on the ground, and just thinking about some of the choke points. Remember when they were first starting talk about the military buildup, and they were identifying these choke points. And I don't know that we've done anything meaningful about dealing with those choke points to the degree that we're going to have to worry about an additional several thousand people here in the next bunch of years.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is the plans are great. The idea, of course, is great as well. It's sometimes I get concerned that when people talk about Guam or they question about Guam, mm-hmm. so many, halfway around the world, do they even know what they're talking about? Okay, have they come and see the lay of the land? Have they seen have they seen the issues, or have they heard of the issues, or have they dealt with issues that come with doing a lot of the stuff? We like to be able to do a lot of stuff here. Is that we got to recognize that the economies of scale, the distance, that we have to traverse, so many other things that have to come into play, that have to be considered, that you don't necessarily need to have that same kind of conversation in Butte, Montana, or Los Angeles, California, for that matter, because everything is there.
Well,
it's here.
Still in all, I just think there's we've got capabilities in the government of Guam to take care of things on this side of the fence, and I just don't think that the government is living up to it. I mean, I'm not going to lecture. I'm just saying, they've shut down the part of the Department of Revenue and Taxation that deals with driver's licenses. Now, how have we let it get that bad? I mean, they've got now the authorization to provide for an emergency contract to mow the grass in the schools. And it just, from my perspective, I think a lot of listeners' perspectives, there seems to be a whole lot of nothing going on.
There's and there's obviously not a whole lot of time that we've got to discuss each of those points before the news comes on.
Well, then you know what? Then you know what? We got to two things.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
We got to do two things. Number one, I got to get you in the studio. We'll do a full hour with my classmate. Number one, and number two, I will offer you something that has not existed on radio in years, and I will give you the Speaker's weekly radio address opportunity. Come on in here, or you get somebody to hold a microphone for you over at your office, and give me about 3 or 4 minutes of what the Speaker priorities are for the 38th Guam Legislature. You can do that every single week. You want to use it to get into scraps with Adelup? No problem. I got you. We'll give you the airtime for nothing. So having said that, now moving forward into a couple of other things is number one, you got to lean on Tony. The website is subpar and it's been too long. I don't think it's legal to just have the front page of the legislation and say the clock is already running, because I don't think it's really introduced until people can see and download all of the proposed legislation.
Sharing your frustration. Yeah, just yesterday I was trying to pull up some information necessary for some work I was doing, and I was like, okay, I'm not getting this, and so I did put in a call to the IT folks and the individuals that this is can we move on this a little bit quicker? If it's frustrating for me, it must be equally as frustrating for the consumer, the community that wants to see this information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I've got the assurances, and they're working. As a matter of fact, when I left the office yesterday, a little bit after 6 p.m., they were still there.
Good. Good, because it's got to get done. I mean, I need to be able to. I'm the guy on the radio, so when somebody comes out and says, "Okay, if you've seen the new legislation that would I don't know," there's one that I think is going to raise the prices on rental units, but I want to be able to read the whole thing, and I can't get to that. So that's a frustration that I think we all share. And I think the other one is, I guess you guys aren't going to have session until March the 17th. Why so late?
Well, because what we wanted to do is put in a system where, a lot of let's cut down a lot of the rhetoric that has occurred on the floor. It's been our experience. It's been the experience that many of the amendments and many of the things that needed to be done in the bill weren't necessarily done already in committee. And so we need the time on the floor to be able to do this. When you spend 3 to 4 days on a single bill that initially was just a page and a half in length, it comes out almost 10 pages long. That's actually work that should have been done in the committee.
Yes.
And have the conversations with the people most affected by it. A lot of times, there's times that we want to be able to bring people in, but because of the rules that we have of engagement, we're restricted or we're limited in that ability. So let's have those conversations. We still need to have the conversations with the people in the community who are going to be affected by this. So it gives the committee more time to be able to vet out those bills, get it ready for the floor, so that when we get on the floor, there's really not a whole lot of other discussion.
Yeah.
And we don't have to spend so much time. in there.
No, that
The
seemed to be
time should
a tactic in the last legislature where it's all right. Listen, it's not done with the committee, but we're going to pluck it out and move forward on it anyway. And that meant that all of a sudden, okay, we got to go to committee on the whole. We got to start drag people in and sort it all out. So you were hoping that with this new schedule, all of that will be done first.
Yeah, and what that does is then, and I've seen it so many times. I'm saying, guys, this is not kosher. This is not right. Where a bill comes in and it says, okay, it's going to do A, B, and C, and then we find out after we're done with the bill on the floor that we're going to vote for it, it's now D, E, and F.
Yeah.
Nothing, so much so that we have to change, the title of the bill, because the title of the bill initially does not represent what now the bill is saying before we vote for it.
Well, there were some people that were suggesting that you were turning it into a part-time legislature with fewer actual sessions. Listen, you were right. We're out of time. I got to jump in to get the Fox News, the Trump news on the radio. I'll talk to you later, Daryl.
You got it, buddy.
And it must be addressed. And so President Trump you've seen, he will have a heavy hand, and we will support him on that regardless of who stands up against it. Johnson is in Doral, Florida, where House Republicans are holding a conference and will meet with the president. Trump border czar Tom Homan says the first focus are illegal immigrants considered a serious threat to public safety. Andre Saya is the mayor of Paterson, New Jersey.
We will not stand in the way of a proper investigation, but individuals need to know their rights, and the rule of law must be respected.
He says there have been reports of people afraid to go to work, school, or the doctor. A Chinese artificial intelligence firm says it has created an AI model that matches U.S. rivals, but for a much lower cost and using far fewer chips. DeepSeek's version won't answer any questions about the Chinese Communist Party, raising security concerns.
Professionals within the industry aren't actually too worried about the security because DeepSeek is open source. What that means is you can take the code and run it on your own computer if you have the computing power. They are way more concerned about what this means for American dominance in artificial intelligence. Fox Business's Madison Allworth. NVIDIA says DeepSeek's advances show the usefulness of its chips for the Chinese market, but NVIDIA shares plunging more than 17%. The Dow up 289 points at the bell, but the tech-heavy NASDAQ down 612. America is listening to Fox News.
Always here to help you. This island is our home. Through the years, we've been a friend to the neighbors we have known. Now we're banking on the future. More services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
With decades experience in Guam and the region, Take Care members have access to the largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs. Membership also includes the high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers and the one-stop FHB Health Center and urgent care. Ask for Take Care. Call 671-647-3526. Go to takecareasia.com for more information. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
Capitol riot defendants will now be allowed to visit the Capitol.
A judge's ruling overturns a previous order that states certain January 6 defendants, like Oath Keepers leader Stuart Rhodes, must have permission to visit Washington or the U.S. Capitol. Those defendants had their sentences commuted, while a number of other January 6 defendants were fully pardoned by President Trump. While the judge declined to remove those restrictions from the sentencing documents, the order acknowledges the commutation from President Trump means restrictions won't be enforced. President Trump's Department of Justice had petitioned for the restrictions to be removed. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Well, just getting word that a federal prosecutor is reviewing the Justice Department's decision to charge hundreds of January 6th defendants with felony obstruction after a Supreme Court ruling last year said some defendants were overcharged using a statute intended to prevent financial fraud. The Wall Street Journal reports that acting U.S. Attorney Ed Martin is asking prosecutors in D.C. to turn over information, launching an inquiry he's referring to as a special project. As the former vice president's husband, he was the first second gentleman Now he has a new job.
Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, is returning to private legal practice after his wife's failed White House bid, joining corporate law firm Wilkie, Farr & Gallagher. Emhoff, who's represented entertainment companies and others, is joining as a partner. Emhoff served as a litigator and trial lawyer for years before he and Harris went to Washington.
Fox's Lillian Wu, the firm says Emhoff will advise companies and boards facing business crises, sensitive investigations, and lawsuits. Recapping stocks, the Dow up 289, but the S&P and the NASDAQ finish in the red. The NASDAQ plummeting more than 3% over concern about a Chinese AI startup. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
76 Circle K introduces My Rewards 2.0, the loyalty program you love made even better. Save 5 cents per gallon every day just for being a member. Earn 1 point for every dollar you spend on fuel or store purchases. Plus, get 5 bonus points for every gallon when you purchase mid-grade or premium fuel. Redeem your points for big savings like up to 75 cents off per gallon or $20 gift certificates. Plus, enjoy exclusive club rewards, free hot dogs, coffee, and more. Download the My Rewards app today from the App Store or Google Play. 76 Circle K My Rewards 2.0. Better rewards, bigger savings.
For all your real estate needs, call the professionals at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, and Lolita, and they'll take care of you on every step of the real estate process. No worries. Just contact Hoffaday Realty at 588-4232 or 588-HOFFA or email them at hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They're at 426 Tellin San Antonio, Suite 204 in Tamuning. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs.
Stay cool all year round by checking out Johnstone Supply for your HVAC and refrigeration needs. Located at 170 Guerrero Drive on Picanell Road in Tamuning, call Johnstone Supply today at 671-649-0581. That's 671-649-0581. Open 8 a.m. to noon and 1 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Open Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and closed on Sundays. Stay cool with Johnstone Supply.
Your 7 o'clock local news is brought to you by AB Risk Solutions.
Half a day at 7:06. I'm Donna DeJesus. Here's a look at your local news on The Point. Jaden Samolsky, a Marine stationed at Camp Blas, is accused of involvement in a burglary at the Dusit Beach Resort Taboo Bar in Tumon in October. Court documents state that 4 men dug a hole under the bar's shuttered door, stealing $100 worth of alcohol. Police traced a white Ford used by the suspects to Samolsky, the registered owner. Although he confirmed ownership, he invoked his right to remain silent when questioned. He was charged with burglary, criminal mischief, theft, and criminal facilitation. Samolsky is being held on a $2,000 cash bail. Meanwhile, President Trump has signed an executive order to review FEMA, creating a council tasked with evaluating its operations. The council will report within 180 days. Trump criticized FEMA, claiming it has lost focus and spent resources beyond its mission. Despite these claims, FEMA denies reports of fund diversion, stating disaster response remains its priority. Locally, nearly 2 years after Typhoon Mawar, COFA migrants on Guam are still ineligible for FEMA aid, though families with U.S. citizen children may apply under their child's name. Guam leaders, including Congressman Jim Moylan, continue pushing for FEMA aid eligibility. More news after this.
Boss, I got run over by a forklift.
Boss, I crashed a company truck.
What do we do? Our warehouse and inventory are gone.
Hi, this is Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and it's time for Risk 101. Everything you just heard are examples of risk your businesses can face. Our job is to ask the hard what-if questions and teach you how to reduce your exposures and help you recover if things go sideways. We've got decades of experience in Micronesia working with businesses big and small. Call AB Risk Solutions today at 777-2668 for a free inspection and quote.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
AG Doug Moylan has warned that contractors and government officials involved in the medical complex project in Manila are on notice. Moylan says his office won't approve any related expenditures. He also stated that violations of certifying officer laws expose officials to criminal liability. The AG has issued legal opinions claiming that improper use of ARP funds could result in the government being forced to repay millions. Governor Lulian Guerrero's office disagreed, calling the AG's accusations baseless. The dispute centers on the use of $104.8 million in federal funds for infrastructure at the medical complex. And GPD says 11 officers have resigned or retired in the past 3 weeks, raising concerns about staffing. Police Chief Stephen Ignacio says half of the departures are retirements, many from long-serving officers nearing the 30-year mark. Ignacio has met with the governor, lieutenant governor, and Public Safety Oversight Chair Senator Sean Gumatautau to address the issue. A new police cycle is underway with 35 applicants advancing to the psychological exam stage. Ignacio reassures the community that patrols remain a priority and shifts will be adjusted if necessary. New recruits must now commit to a 3-year service agreement. And those are your top stories. Back to Ray with weather.
Can you guys buy my car? I'll just use my car as the squad car.
Yeah.
Like they do in Hawaii. Or they did in Hawaii. That was kind of a thing. It was like a benefit. So if you wanted to have your own
POV,
car, your POV, and they would do all of the modifications that they need, gas, insurance, and all of that stuff. Yeah, and at the end of the time, then it was your car. You got to keep the ride. So there's a lot of Gran Torinos out there. Again, you remember back in the olden days? There was a time, and this got to be a certain age, a boy of a certain age on Guam to remember that the Torino was the vehicle for the police department, and
it was a solid car.
It was a solid car, but it had a very, very unique and memorable light pattern in the front. Is light, and then like a kernel bar, and then he got the grade, and then the light, and the bar, and then light. So you could, rear view mirror, and you could tell if that was a cop behind you because it was that unique. It was either a cop behind you or my mom. My mom had a Torino back in the day, and she hated it.
Thought it was the cops. It was just Ray's mom.
Yeah, she hated it. Well, because she'd get behind somebody.
People pull over.
she'd get behind somebody, and they'd slow down. And she's like, hurry up, I want to get out of here. Isolated showers are in today's forecast. They got mostly sunny skies and daytime highs of about 87 degrees. East-northeast winds 9 to 16 miles an hour. Might see some gusts as high as 20. Partly cloudy and overnight lows of about 76 degrees later on. With gusts as high as 18 miles an hour. Now, we got mostly sunny in the forecast all week long, but I don't know exactly what that means because it's also been raining a lot over the last couple of days. I get the weather map up on the screen. I downloaded this a little bit ago, and to give you an idea, we're still kind of out there in the open, but we seem to have some clouds that have kind of migrated and kind of sticking over the island for right now. I don't know if that's associated with any of the massive clouds, that chop that is way south of us, but it could be bringing some isolated showers to the forecast area, so just be ready for anything. With a heat index, today is 92 degrees, 20% chance of rain. Possible high surf and rip current warnings in effect because of all the gusty conditions that we've had lately. Sunrise was at 6:48 this morning. Maybe you saw some of that. The pictures that Jeff had sent over a little bit earlier, some gorgeous shots of, as we say, color good. Coming up over the eastern side of the island. And there's the sun peeking its head over the horizon. That's sweet. Sunset tonight should be about 6:19 or so. And one other item that hit the meme machine. Oh, I know, because I sent it there myself. I was looking at Twitter while the news was playing, and one of the guys I follow, Benny Johnson, says, this is epic. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth tosses out DEI name changes and is bringing back Fort Bragg and Fort Benning. Also, quote, thinking about the guys and gals in Guam, in Germany, Fort Benning and Fort Bragg on missile defense sites and aircraft carriers. Not bad, day one. Not bad. 7:12 on the Ray Gibson Show. More on the way.
Turn your old phone into new possibilities. Trade-in is back at IT&E with more savings. Now you can get as much as $880 toward a new phone when you trade in your old phone. Plus, any remaining credit can be used to purchase accessories or applied to your account. Choose from the latest devices to upgrade your mobile experience on the widest network in Guam and the Marianas. Terms and conditions apply. Visit ite.net or store for details. IT&E. Connections that matter.
Celebrating the new year 2025, Whopper Wednesday is back. Every Wednesday in January, visit any Burger King restaurant and say, I love the Whopper. And get a free flame-grilled Whopper sandwich with the purchase of any large-size Whopper combo meal. Top off your meal with the French fries, onion rings, or halvesies, and a refreshing Coca-Cola. Call your friends and family and get your Whopper Wednesday special. Happy New Year from your friends at Burger King. You rule. 7:13, Ray Gibson Show. Portions brought to you by APL, American President Lines. Global presence with a local home, and take care.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
With FEMA possibly dissolving, how will it affect Guam? The answer is we'll have to fend for ourselves. Is that so
What?
bad?
Use our own money?
Yeah.
Man, that
That
what?
sucks. No, we hate that. No more. What do you mean we're going to have to take care of
use my own money.
What if something breaks? We're going to have to fix it ourselves. We won't be able to, use that as an excuse for why we haven't gotten anything done is because we're waiting for FEMA to write some checks for us. Is that what's going on? Might be. That's among the conversations that the people have. 888-825-888-TALK. That's a telephone number at the radio station. 797-8255. If you've got goodies that you want to send in that you found on the social media, maybe it's a cool picture of whatever it is that you're up to. As I said, B-Man Dennis Larson and Jeff from Pirates Cove checking out Sunrise this morning. And they did a rescue, and so they're taking all of the rescued bees. I love this science. And they're going to dump them off over at Pirates Cove. And I have had the honey that comes from the bees that is made from all of the flowers and the plants in that area. And here's the thing.
No, Epan.
It's there might be. We ought to get one.
Tastes like Epan Mobile soft serve.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we ought to get one because you know what we're beginning to develop around here.
What?
Just next, adjacent to the tourism district, is those weeds.
All those weeds.
The chains of love.
Okay, yeah, the pink flowers.
Yeah, with the pink flowers and the leaves in the shape of a heart. Right around Valentine's, I think it always comes up, but I don't know if anybody's noticed, but the stuff is starting to take over a lot of the green space around here, and I've been complaining about problems with just the overgrown bushes on the sidewalk that locals and tourists use. It's creeping right over there. And then you make that turn, you go past the hamburger joint down the street, and it's beginning to cover up all of the nice plants that somebody once upon a time planted all the way down to the Verona Hotel. So I'm just saying, maybe if somebody's got
suffocate those plants.
But what the hell, if we can't take care of the grass in the schools, I'm not holding out. Not holding out any
declare an
hope
emergency.
that they'll be able to do anything like that anytime soon. 7:16 in the morning, and we'll chase down a few other stories and spend some time. Will Parkinson and the bunker, not bunker. It's what is it called? A fallout shelter.
Yeah.
That they want to build.
Fallout guy.
Yeah. That'll don't worry. You won't even know it hit. Trust me when it does. Return to home program, and Doug Moylan. Talking about many things in the last couple of days, but certainly the homeless issue has been front and center with him. I was giggling about it before because it's worth giggling about. There was a billboard that was erected basically saying, don't feed the guy, don't give just encouraging the panhandling at this intersection when you give the guy money. So they put the cartoon caricature of a guy with no teeth. We say Duffy in Chamorro. And the universal no symbol, the circle with the line through it diagonally, right? Yeah. So I know it looks like Ghostbusters, but anyway, so that went up, and then a day, maybe 2 days later, somebody had come and scrawled in black graffiti paint that Doug Moylan hates poor people.
Hello, people.
That song they play on Star 101. Maybe that's what it is.
He's not down with OPP.
He's not down with the OPP. But somebody recently, and I don't have a picture yet. Come on, the sun is up. You're traveling anyway. Northbound Marine Corps Drive. When you get there, Stacks over here, opposite side of the street. Grab me a picture of the new graffiti. Instead of hates, it's been covered over with Valentine likes. I'm just trying to figure out who's doing that. But at one end, we got to figure out where all of these homeless are from, and is it possible that there might be a way to return them? We talk about deportation, for criminals, but what about deportation for people who just didn't get it? Come in from another island somewhere, and they tried and they just didn't get it for whatever reason. Nobody's blaming you, but maybe you would be better off if you were at your home island with your family that might be able to back you up and help you. In Hawaii, they have instituted or proposed to institute a return to home program. A bill introduced by 13 representatives in the State House calls for establishing a permanent return to home program with an as yet undetermined amount of funding to return homeless people to Hawaii from Hawaii to their home states. You have to say Hawaii on Tuesdays. House Bill 212 would make a pilot program with the Institute for Human Services on Oahu, calling it a success after it returned more than 100 homeless individuals back to their home states. Now, they're not saying home islands. They're saying home states in Hawaii. The measure would require the statewide Office on Homelessness and Housing Solutions to institute Return to Home, a program with as yet undetermined funding, and a requirement that the office report progress to the legislature. So if this is something that they attempted in Hawaii and feel it's successful enough to make it permanent, maybe that's a conversation that we need to start having around here. And somebody's going to say, well, where's the money going to come from? And the answer is, I don't know. Maybe we'll take it, maybe it's one of those things where if we just spend more time working on this and addressing a lot of assets to it, then maybe, it's some way to eliminate it.
Give it a good name, Ray.
We've got the story here.
Program and go home.
Haiti Gilbert in the PDN writing, Guam's homelessness aid program becomes a permanent part of public health. The OHAP order ends, which is the way I see it. Now, I might be spouting something inaccurate. End. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're making this a permanent part. So it's like we're going
created jobs.
It's like diabetes. We're going to start with metformin and work your way up until it's full-blown diabetes and you're going to die. We're not actually going to solve the problem. We're just going to create another department and agency. It should be self-liquidating, if you will. It should be one of these things. We got 5 years. We're going to come up with all the craziest ideas that we possibly can to end homelessness here on Guam, one way or another. And then this department and agency will go away. The need will cease to exist. I don't know what all of those things are going to be. I'm just a guy on the radio saying, interesting. Now a permanent part. So we're going to be stuck with it. 7:20 in the morning. There's another story on homelessness, but there's in Hawaii. But there's actually a couple others that that got me thinking. Is you know how we got that bottle bill?
Yeah.
That's never ever been implemented.
The bottle bill.
The bottle bill. So they've got a bottle program in Hawaii. Today's if you're new to the program, on Tuesdays we get the Hawaii Free Press, and the Hawaii Free Press loves to do what we do around here, and that is to point out some of the vulnerabilities and issues that they're facing that make Hawaii one of the most expensive places in the world to live, and maybe one of the least productive places of all time. But they've got a bottle bill. They were actually able to get a bottle bill going, and here's the thing is, they've raised now your deposit. It used to be a nickel, but now it's going to be 10 cents. Yeah. So you go into the store and buy something in a plastic bottle or something like that, then you get the 10 cents back. Eventually, when you turn it in, right? That's the whole idea, is that you won't litter. The bottles won't become part of the litter stream that you've got, because people want to hold on to them, take them to a machine. And I've actually been to there's a machine in the basement, in the parking lot of the Hawaii legislature, and you put your bottles in there, and it will print out money for you. It will spit money up for you, which is awesome.
Not all day. Be there all day.
But now it's going to be more. And as it turns out, apparently there's a whole lot of money in this account, because not everybody is paying it out, and everybody is saying, okay, well, if you're not going to use that money, can you give that gazillion millions of dollars out to somebody else in the government of Hawaii? But in other states, they got guys that figured it out. So they've got these people on like a welfare program, a SNAP program or something like that, and you can buy as much water as you want to. So these guys go and they buy cases and cases and cases of water, spill the water out, and then go take the plastic bottles to the machine, get cash, and buy crystal methamphetamine with it.
Wow.
Absolute. You know, there might be high.
Bring that business plan to SBA.
But they ain't stupid.
Get a loan.
Not stupid. Fun stuff all over the news here today. Jerry Roberts in the studio, so we might spend a little bit of extra time talking about football, or we might talk a little bit about what's going on in the markets here today. S&P 500 in the red, Nasdaq in the red, and some of the big losers on the Nasdaq include NVIDIA Corporation, that lost 16% of its share value here this morning as a result of the Chinese AI. Was it DeepSpeak or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So them, Micron Technology, Broadcom, Marvell Technology, and a lot of the tech guys are upside down. NASDAQ lost 3% of its value, closing off 612 points. S&P 500 drifting down by 88.9. Now, that's not to say that everything in the NASDAQ went sideways. American Electric is up. PepsiCo was at number 1. They picked up 4%. Exelon, Apple Inc., and CoStar. Apple Inc. has got, what is it, iOS 13.2 that's coming out now. I've got 13.3 because I'm a beta guy, and can't you just tell how much better my life is than yours because I'm 13.3? Yeah, like that. Dow Jones Industrial Average, however, picked up 289 points. So you got a fun mix in the market. FTSE is up by 1.5. Nikkei down by 366. Hang Seng Index picking up 131, and Shanghai down by 2. DAX is off by 112 points this morning. Looking at the commodities, gold at 2,746, off by $32 worth of its value. You know what I found out this morning?
What did you find out this morning?
When there's a guy in a Lego company, when they retire, they give them a gold bar the same size as a Lego. And yeah, and it looks like a Lego. The same size as, it's a little solid gold Lego. Yeah, congratulations on your retirement here. It'll kill you, but it's gold. You'll feel good about it. And we've got oil. Is it Trump effect? You know what I'm going to say? It's Trump effect. Just to get the guys to say, the price of oil has nothing to do with who's ever in the White House. It has nothing to do with whoever's in the White House. The fact that the oil is going down obviously means there's a supply thing or something like that. So it has nothing to do with the president. Oil at $73 and about a nickel, off by over $1.50 in trade here this morning. So that's going to be good news. And oh, by the way, the LEAC meeting is going to be taking place. It's this week. Thursday. PUC is meeting Thursday. And that is on the docket, the lowering of the LEAC. So while gas went to $5.10 or so, we might be in good shape with the power bills. And then there's going to be another look at the LEAC later in the year, and then the opening of the new just movie theaters in my head, but power plant is the actual words that I want to use.
We're almost at free power.
Where you can't getting close to free electricity, Joe, but no offshore windmills. Oh, Donald Trump killed that the first day. No ugly offshore windmills. Yeah.
How about ocean thermal, man? Let's go.
Hawaii is. There's a story about that in Hawaii. They're taking a look at maybe doing some of these skinny drills and seeing how far they can send a pipe, and if they can get it to hot bedrock, we'll start throwing some water down there. Water meets the heat. Heat makes the steam, and then we make free electricity out of that.
Need bone.
Well, cheaper electricity for sure. All right, let's go traveling. Got a weakening dollar, I guess, in some places, or maybe a strengthening yen, maybe the way you want to look at it. The yen is at 154.6 today. The skosh better than it was yesterday. I got Philippine peso at 58.38. That one there looks like it's moving in the wrong direction, maybe a little bit weaker than it was yesterday. South Korean won at 14.33, so they're a little bit weaker as well. Bitcoin number. Speaking of weak, it was 105 yesterday morning, 104 when we were talking today. It is
102 and $58.
Oh, it came back.
Yeah,
it come back because when I write down my number at 5:30 ish. It was $99 and $99.5, so it's 102 now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Doing a cha-cha.
It has everything to do with the Chief victory yesterday, or more importantly, the Eagles' victory. All right.
Sorry, Jerry.
You know, in life, you need an anchor point in life. You need an anchor point to be successful in life. You know, he was a 49ers fan because of the daughter.
Yeah.
Right? Well, that's gone now. So now he's an Eagles fan. In other words, he just goes for the winners. Doesn't care.
Oh, is that what we're calling it?
There's no anchor point.
Wait a second. So I don't
stick with something, Ray.
Fairly even right now. They say there's a slight edge for the Chiefs going into the Super Bowl. At least that's what the betting guys say out in the place.
If Patrick Mahomes has the ball at the end of the game,
there's the win. That's it.
I just can't bet against the Chiefs. They find a way to win. Mm-hmm. They just find a way to win the game.
So is it scripted, though? So, is the script for the Super Bowl out?
You'd have to ask the Bills fans about that.
I'm going to ask AI. I'm going to ask the Chinese AI because it seems to be better. So what do they say? So they can get done. The Chinese AI can do what American AI can do with like 1% of the chips. So that's why NVIDIA is upside down, is because all of a sudden they're going to say, well, we don't need as many of those NVIDIA chips as we did before because we've got this better open source software for the deep sneak.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep. Just saying. It's worth looking into. It's worth an interesting conversation in the very least. So open source and lower computing requirements, that means that AI will now fit in your laptop is the point. So everybody's going to have their own AI programs.
Yeah.
So that's where I think this is all going to head. Bottom of the hour, 7:29. Oh, by the way, 2 times Jerry Roberts today. We have Jerry Roberts on the radio.
My gosh.
Yes, it's true. And in the Guam Daily Post, in the editorial,
I love those guys.
Editorial section, you will find Jerry Roberts and his work. What's it called? The Work Zone.
How to beat feeling overwhelmed. How to beat feeling overwhelmed.
Just how to beat people in particular. That'll get the productivity up.
How to beat overwhelm.
All right. Well,
yeah, there you go.
I'll write my extra point. You can write your extra point. Now it's 7:29. Let's get to the extra point, brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank.
Thank you. Guam may not have a large population, and we certainly don't have as many options to spend our money as our family members and friends who live in larger communities back in the mainland. Still, there is decent competition in many sectors here, certainly enough so that losing customers, even when you do things right, is a reality of business. What we never want to do is to invite them to leave us because of poor service. I'll give you a story today told to me yesterday by a friend. Coming next on The Extra Point.
Get ready to take off with the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank. If approved, you can earn 30,000 bonus miles when you spend $1,500 within the first 3 months after account opening. So what are you waiting for? Pack your bags and let's go with the First Hawaiian Bank Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Terms and conditions apply. Offer is subject to credit approval and may change over time. To learn more, visit a First Hawaiian branch or go to fhb.com/United.
At APL, their expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing their efforts in giving back to the community. APL's dedicated team in Guam and the U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
A person I've known for some time and highly respect told me of their recent experience at a restaurant. I'm not going to use this individual's name or the name of the restaurant. It's a well-known eatery, has been in business for a long time, and a large party of people sat down for a meal. I will refer to my friend as Ann. The restaurant was not busy that day, and they were greeted pleasantly and led to tables that would accommodate their numbers. Ann noticed that the floor under her table was dirty and sticky. She brought it to the attention of the staff and was told that somebody would come out to clean it. After a few minutes passed, the cleanup person had not appeared and is still standing and waiting for this to happen. More minutes passed. Ann asked another server for assistance. This server looked preoccupied with her section of the restaurant, which gave Ann the impression that this was not her area of concern. However, she did say that she would check on the cleaning person. After waiting a little longer, a maintenance lady came out with a dustpan and a broom. No mop, just the broom. And the broom was worn out, almost no bristles on it. The lady tried to sweep up the mess, but was unable to remove some food that was stuck to the floor. When it was clear that the old broom wouldn't do the job, she grabbed a napkin to remove the stuck food. Well, the food was gone, but the stickiness remained. Ann is a mild-mannered person, but she admitted to me that she wasn't happy with this. Further, she told me she likely won't be eating at this place for a while. A restaurant owner who understands the business will know that it could be months or years before a dissatisfied customer returns, if they ever do. A smart owner will also know that this story will be passed along to others. And when it gets passed along to others, it's going to have the name of that restaurant attached to it. To top it off, there are 12 other people in the party who witnessed the dirty floor and how long it took to get it cleaned, partially cleaned. Maybe they won't be back either. I won't tell you what Ann does for a living, but I will say that she is very well versed in teamwork and communication in an organization. And she said it was missing at this restaurant. There was no sense of urgency or desire to make the customer feel important. Where was the pride in keeping the place clean? And does nobody check around tables after a party leaves to make sure it's ready for the next set of diners? And whose job is it to make sure that the equipment is in good working order, like a broom that could have enough bristles on it to do the job it's intended to do? I think we can sum it up by saying that there is a lack of leadership at this place. Nobody is paying attention to the details. The restaurant industry in Guam is struggling. Many of our citizens are eating out less because of high prices. Good operators do everything they can to deliver a satisfying experience so they have a decent chance to get customers back. One more thing. Anne lives here, and though she and her party may tell the story to others, the story stays within our shores. What if a group of tourists had sat down at that table before Ann and company had arrived? Maybe this story would have lived on through Korean and Japanese social media and ultimately could influence future travelers to bypass Guam in favor of another destination where they have bristles on brooms and clean floors before people sit down. I've eaten in plenty of restaurants in those countries, and I've never encountered what Ann did. Our visitors expect higher standards. Maybe our eateries can't do much about the costs that drive up meal prices. That being said, there is no excuse for not offering a clean and sanitary place to enjoy a meal. That's the extra point. Be responsible and make something good happen today. For 93.3 FM, The Ray Gibson Show, and First Hawaiian Bank. I'm Jerry Roberts.
Maybe not on the Yelp, but I mean, if there were Asian customers that had a hard time at a restaurant on Guam, if they're in Japan, they would have gone, instead of going to Yelp, they would have gone to Tabelog, Tabelog, and would have registered their issues there. And I don't know what it is for Korea. I'll look that up in a second. But you can look at Yelp and see what people not from Guam have had to say about restaurants and other facilities that we've got here, and it's not good.
Years ago, I subscribed online. You know what the Asahi Shinbun is?
Yeah.
It's the largest newspaper in Japan. They had an English social media site. So I was able to get in on that.
Cool.
And for a long time. And occasionally I would see, if you search for Guam, you would see one of these things pop up. I went there and it was this and it was this and it was this. Never go to Guam. That kind of thing. It does exist. Yeah, they will go on social media and they will trash you. Period.
And relentless. And unfortunately, there's a whole lot of crabs that'll see that and go, yeah, me too.
That's right.
Or yeah, that's what I heard. My cousin went to Guam and da-da-da-da.
And that costs you X dollars times all those people that don't come here.
Yeah. And you know, if we're talking about local customers, you know, what is the value? What is the lifetime value of a local customer? Somebody that goes to your restaurant once a week. Maybe it's the family's go-to once every couple of weeks. Those are the guys that you got to keep in there because they add that kind of steady value to you. Yep. And yeah, you got to take care of the new guys as well. 7:36 in the morning, but I can hear the restaurateurs right now saying, "Oh my God,
was that me? Was that our place?"
No, they're saying we got no people. I know. There are all kinds of challenges that these guys have, and you know, I want to say that among the least of their worries is the price of the food. Then it comes down to who's going to cook it in the back, who's going to wash the dishes when the dirty dishes come back from the tables.
And I was going to add that to the story because I understand that that's part of the equation.
Yeah.
However, whoever is there, okay, there's some basic things you have to cover.
Right.
Okay, right. Is the place clean? Is the bathroom clean? I mean, you gotta build up from there. I mean, if the food's good, that's a bonus. If the prices are reasonable, that's a bonus. But is the place clean? It's the first impression you get. If it's dirty,
I don't know, some of the best food I've ever had, Jerry, is coming places that had the worst bathrooms I've ever been in. But the food is so good. 7:37 in the morning,
Jerry.
7:37 on the Ray Gibson Show. There's a conversation that we got to have. 888-8255-888-TALK. Maybe there was some guy complaining about it in social media. It was not here, or maybe it was, but there was a restaurant that charged not a service fee, but a cleaning fee.
Oh.
a cleaning fee, because you'll remember COVID time. So
Yeah.
maybe somebody, when customers went away, the bus guy'd come by and just kind of, would just take the dirty dishes, put them in the busing tray, and then spray, maybe just get a rag and clean things up, push it on the floor and whatever. That was how we cleaned before COVID. COVID-19, you remember all of the cleaning protocols that they came in with? And you got the spray bottle with Clorox or something on the inside of it, and you got to use a special kind of mop to get around everything. And there were places that said, that was not a cost that we had before, but it's a cost that we have now. So maybe there will be, when you look at your bill next time, a cleaning fee on top of that. And you can thank Jerry Roberts for that.
Thank you very much. Well, I don't mind them spraying the tables with Clorox, but I stopped going when they were spraying the customers with Clorox. I thought that was going too far.
Jerry Roberts and the Extra Point Work Zone in today's Guam Daily Post, and he's going to have some kind of seminar down the road for you, so keep track of all of that. If you don't subscribe to him, check the, what's the name of the website again?
GuamTraining.com.
Every single day. It's 20 away from the top of the hour. Donna D with her look at news and headlines. This one being brought to you by Burger King. Is it I Love Whopper Wednesday yet? No, that's tomorrow. Don't starve yourself. Go over to the place and get yourself one of their melts for a limited time only. They got a classic, they got a bacon and a shroom and Swiss. Available, like I said, for a limited time only, and save some room for I Love Whopper Wednesday tomorrow. News here is also being brought to you by Auntie Lolita and the team over at Hoffaday Realty. Actually, it's Auntie Loli, Saran, Libby, Jody, and then there's a whole bunch of other folks in the background that make things hum. Call them, find out what they do, 588-4232, and you can put your feet on their floor. Now, with the news and the headlines, here's Donna D. What's going on?
2 men were arrested last Friday for illegal hunting after authorities responded to a large grass fire on Mount Lamlam. 24-year-old Jonovan Chigina and 29-year-old Tyrone Kinata are charged with poaching under the Protection of Wild Animals law. Police found them with a dead deer and a shotgun. Chigina told officers he saw 3 people start the fire. While it's hunting season, the men did not have the required hunting licenses. Meanwhile, GPA has received nearly $1 million in grant funding to boost cybersecurity. The grant will support the deployment of advanced technologies and enhance the resilience of GPA's network. This comes shortly after reports of cyber attacks targeting Guam. GPA's team is committed to protecting critical infrastructure and providing reliable energy for residents and the U.S. Navy. And Reventex says technical issues have disrupted driver's license services. The branch is closed today. Affected appointments will be rescheduled by staff. Residents needing renewals or replacements are urged to use the online portal, myid.guam.gov, if eligible. To qualify, ID information must remain unchanged, be within 1 year of expiration, and require a vision test. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
All right, 7:41. I'm trying to decide what I want to do here. With we get the whole point website. Hope you get a chance. If there are people that watch us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, the rumble.com and KUM, but you can also watch the thing on the Point's website, thepoint.gu. I always talk about the community banner where you can go and submit items to our calendar. When I say our calendar, I mean ours. The Points, Boss 104, Star 101, they're all connected. So you got a 5K coming up, maybe you got a fundraiser, big deal, book selling, and whatever. You can put it in there, and all 3 radio stations will have access to it. But we can also do online polls. There's a way that we can interact with each other here at the radio station besides all of the different chat rooms that we're in. And so the last one I put up there was where the new hospital should go. And significant numbers of the people said Tamuning, number one. And the other second answer was anywhere else. Not Mangilao. Mangilao got like 10%, 12% of the vote. But it was Tamuning or someplace else. And then we've got the other one that I had was something about Doug. But I've got a couple of options for today. One of them is who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl here? It's going to be the Chiefs against the Rams. I'm just kidding. It's the Chiefs against the Eagles. So I was thinking about doing that, but because I got a little bit of troublemaker inside me. I think I've got that troublemaker gene. I was thinking who ought to be the next minority leader of the 38th Guam legislature. That's still not decided yet. There's 6 of them. There's no tie-breaking vote. So there's only 6 people in the minority in the legislature, and half of them want Tina. The other half want Therese. And when I say half, we're talking about basically four people.
Man. We're going to have to fly in J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance is going to have to come in and
break the tie.
just like he did on the Hex's nomination, he'll come in and break the tie. And then Stephen lives online and saying, why don't we just have a special election to elect the minority leader? Number one, only if they can do it for free. And number two, I think Therese would already win it. I mean, these positions aren't generally given based on the number of votes you get, whether you're the highest vote getter or the lowest vote getter. But
perhaps
it could be one of those things where, maybe that is going to be a way that you look at and say, look, I'm not going to say a mandate, but clearly people like the leadership under her when you guys were in the minority. Possible that they will appreciate her leadership while you're in the minority. Anyway, ponder, roll that around your head and see how that plays out. When we return, the most Googled things on Guam for December. That's on the way. Stay there.
Sweeten your Valentine's Day with Cold Stone Creamery. Give that special someone the treat they deserve and turn moments into memories with our truffles, our forever ice cream cupcake, and heart-shaped ice cream cake, the Fudge Truffle Decadence. Treat your forever Valentine to Cold Stone Creamery. Our treats are the sweetest way to say I love you to all of the loves in your life. Pre-order online at coldstonecreamery.com or visit us at the mall or GPO locations today.
Bring home a bundle of value from IT&E today. Save up to $1,000 when you sign for a home internet bundle. Get a free 43-inch TV and a free Fire Stick to stream all your favorite shows and movies, all with fiberglass speeds. Plus, get up to $100 in Amazon gift certificates, and we'll even waive your installation fee. Sign up now to stream, shop, and unlock more. Visit ite.net for details. IT&E, connections that matter.
7:45, that's Beyond the Box time. You can find them in the first floor of the Micronesia Mall. And if you are loving the idea of maybe getting out and doing a workout but still want to stay connected, they've got these shocks in there. And they've been making a big deal about this. And the cool thing is obviously they're wireless. And in fact, that band that connects from the back of the head to the front, they've eliminated now. So it kind of goes over the ear and then snugs up to the bones in your head that snug up to the bones in your ear. Try them out. You'd be surprised at how loud they get. You'd be surprised at the clarity of these shocks. And you can only find them that I know of. The good ones, the real ones, are over at Beyond the Box, first floor of the Micronesia Mall. Very quick look at traffic because Jimmy Craig is calling in from Congress yet again. We got still slow traffic getting into Anderson Air Force Base. Not sure what's going on. Maybe one of the young airmen lost the key or something like that. And they got to wait till Andy from the Andy Safe and Lock gets up there and undoes the thing. Southbound Marine Corps Drive into Dededo, slow from Ipaupau. But once you pass that, then it's just intersection traffic until you get to 1 and 3. 1 and 3 is running clear, but there's a lot of traffic on 3 trying to get off of that road right now and get back onto Marine Corps Drive. Or maybe hit Route 16. Not sure how you're living. Route 16 is clear for the most part. Once you get past the Micronesia Mall, you'll be fine. But if your destination takes you down to 8, 10, and 16, oh boy, good luck. It's busy in all 3 directions. Route 10 side, Route 8 side. It's busier headed towards the intersection on Route 8. And you'll run into some traffic over at Super Happy Mart right now. Let's see, is there any other traffic that I need to tell you about? Yeah, it's ugly on Route 4. No major surprise, but there just seems to be a whole lot more of it. You're going to run into some traffic on Route 10 as you get close to the intersection of 10 and 15. But if you're anywhere on Route 4 right now, from Ta'i to Cost You Less into Ordot, Fast Chalampago, Ordot, Sinahanya, expect some traffic. And I got stop and go on Marine Corps Drive over in PD. And I finally found out what that's about. You know what it is?
What's that about?
There's some construction.
Oh, okay.
Down in between PD and Big Navy.
Pardon our progress.
Something like that. I don't know what it is. I noticed, because when I went down there, it was kind of raining yesterday, but it wasn't like puddling up. So maybe they've got
they closed off a single lane up there.
Work on that. It's 7:47 on the Ray Gibson Show. I've got. In fact, let's just go to him right now and see what's going on. Congressman Jimmy Craig on the line. Always good to have you here. And congratulations. There's a story floating around about how you are sitting on a number of quite influential committees in the House of Representatives.
Yes. We're happy for that. I've been asked to be co-chairs on different ones, and with the Foreign Affairs Committee, and then back, of course, with the House Armed Services and other caucuses that we play a big role in. So the relationship building is paying off for the people of Guam, and we're getting good wins for the island too. Now with the Trump administration ensuring that we're also part of these executive orders that is on the direction that the administration wants, and we can support and make sure our borders are secured and our economics and price of goods are reduced as well.
Well, wait, hold on a second. We'll dramatically point out how that's happening. There is going to be, according to more than one story I've read, a surge, primarily in Coast Guard for right now. They're going to be doing more to protect our borders. This is the homeland, after all, and they're going to send out more Coast Guard folks to keep an eye on things around here, especially what with the threats that we have from the Chinese spies up in the NMI.
Right. We were able to get additional 3 more fast response cutters. We're looking for some more to come on down the line as well. So with the nation securing its borders, with the focus of the administration on that, that includes the borders of Guam, too. And we really have to protect this. We're the first in line, and we know the Communist Chinese Party is looking a lot at us and wanting to. We're not a threat for them if they try to make a move on Taiwan. So that's good support that we got, and this would help within the Indo-PACOM region where the Coast Guard can assist in CNMI and maybe American Samoa as well. But they got a big area to cover. Mm-hmm. So the continued support for the Coast Guard is important, and as well as the Defense Assistant Secretary they're recognizing Guam as the most important for the Indo-PACOM area.
You know who's got a bromance with Guam is Hegseth, the new SecDef.
Yes.
He is again. So Shelley Gibson, I woke up. She was the first thing on my WhatsApp. She sent me a video of Hegseth talking to somebody at the steps of Pentagon or whatever, and he was talking about he's thinking about getting rid of they're not thinking about they're getting rid of DEI. All of that stuff's going to be gone, and it looks like he wants to return back to calling it Fort Bragg and Fort Benning, among other things. And then he said, thinking about the guys and gals in Guam, in Germany, Fort Benning, Fort Bragg on missile defense sites and aircraft carriers. This guy, it's great. He knows about Guam, and we are obviously foremost in his thoughts. That's got to be a good thing. When are you going to bring him out?
Pretty soon. That's a goal of ours. And I'm sure he'll be flying through this region and the stop is necessary. We want to make that happen. So it's coordination, but right when I get back to D.C., that's another letter going out as an invitation for him to come join us when he's ready. As part of, I'm sure they're really busy, but I know he'll be coming through this area, and we want to make sure he makes that stop here.
Oh, he's got to. We got to take him down, Chamorro Village on a Wednesday night or something like that. Put some pounds on that kid, and definitely, run around with us down in Tula. We get the Cope North is coming up February the 3rd, and things going to get crazy busy around here. And it's certainly indications of our continuing importance in the region, as Guam has once again been selected to be the home Air Force base. General Moss got to be happy about playing host to Australian warfighters and Japanese warfighters again. I'm probably going to be bringing the Koreans back for another round, but it's going to be crazy busy. The story I was referring to, Eurasian Times, Trump starts flexing muscles in Indo-Pacific. U.S. deploys unprecedented military assets in China's backyard. We've got a carrier in Thailand. The Carl Vinson is out there. We've got stealth fighters that have been dispatched to Kadena. U.S. spy planes operating near China. Carrier conducting drills with the Philippines. Not sure exactly which one that one is. So that was the Vinson. U.S. stealth bombers fast attack submarines in Guam, and the list goes on and on and on. So it looks like they're building up lines of defense to make it very, very clear. You guys are not operating alone in this region. So I'm delighted to hear about all of that.
Yes, and I was on the Carl Vinson, and those crews are ready for action. A lot of young folks, but boy, are they worried. So I'm happy that they're prepared and ready to go, and we're showing our defense, and that's important. To include protecting the Philippines, we just renewed our treaty with them to say if anybody attacks you, that's an attack, and we're going to defend the Philippines too. So we saw what they're doing with the Communist Chinese Party, the unfair acts they're doing against the Philippines with the different islands there, and we had to stop that. We can't let them get away with it, and so I'm happy that's being done. for the defense of the nation and our allies.
Ditto, because sometimes, in the previous administration, while there were assurances made to the Filipino government, they were not always followed up on and followed through by the American side. So we've got to re-earn our credibility with the Philippines on that particular note. 7:53 in the morning. A couple other news stories that are out there. We got it's our first full week of MAGA in Washington D.C. Even though the guy doesn't seem to have spent a lot of time in D.C., seems to me he's been all around the nation. Checking on things in North Carolina, Florida. We're running into Pensacola to make sure that eventually the snow would melt, and then off to Los Angeles to scold them on their lousy response to those incredible L.A. fires. But there's all kinds of these documents that are floating around that are getting talked about. DEI going away, that's one thing. There's still threats about maybe eliminating the IRS and eliminating the individual taxation in the country and just going to tariffs. And then FEMA is starting to talk about what a lousy job FEMA has been doing. Victims of Mawar here on Guam have generally all said about the same thing. And so I'm wondering, what if FEMA goes away and we have to be left to our own resources here on Guam? Do you suppose we're ready for that, Jim?
No, I think he's revamping a lot of the federal agencies to make them more, to get them in line with what they're supposed to do. He expanded them too much, and the communication is not doing so well, and bringing them back on in with the commander-in-chief in charge. There's no way that if we're going to overstep that boundary, then we have to find a better way to do that. But we're relying on FEMA. Of course, Congress has supported them with the different disasters that have come on through. If there's something better out there, I'm sure we'll implement it. But for now, that's what we have to use. And looking forward to working closely with the new FEMA secretary there to make sure that Guam is not excluded. And the Indo-PACOM area is important. We need them more than ever because it's just not a train ride or a bus ride away.
No.
For our support to get here.
Well, I mean, I don't know. There was a whole lot of staged equipment here from a while ago. I don't know to what degree those things were used to shore things up of places like GWA when their generators had failed. Were they able to get those generators replaced with what had already been staged here on Guam? 7:55 and change, though, but it does give rise to the question, if there are going to be changes made to FEMA and we need to be more self-reliant, could we do it? How do we create that kind of local resiliency so we're not always, just sitting around going, oh, the wind blew hard, and now we're just going to wait for FEMA to come in and start driving them around and getting reports put together?
Right. That's a long-term goal, hopefully, but that's going to be really difficult for that to happen anytime shortly. So we're going to ensure, just like with the other executive orders that are going on, that we're not negatively impacted and that we need that support.
Well, it seems to me the first thing that we always got to get back on track is the Power Authority, and there has been a conversation about undergrounding that. Do these new vice chair positions give you an opportunity to start putting together legislation or finding ways that we can include about $6 billion in the next budget so that Guam can finally underground to the best degree possible?
Yeah, it's supposed to be put back better and more resilient. So we did have some, our push was for that to happen. FEMA wanted that to happen. So at the end of the day, it costs money. And I think that's what this administration is looking at. We want to bring down the deficit, and we want to fund things that are important. Guam is important. Our infrastructure is a must to keep these things going during the time of disaster for support of the nation and for support of the people. So we'll argue that point to ensure that we keep on receiving that funding before anything gets cut out. And I think we got a good position to do that with the amount of military and the Indo-PACOM situation here to make it happen.
Does that mean that, I mean, are you telegraphing the idea that maybe the best people to have that conversation with might be in the Department of Defense as they put their budget request together for the next fiscal year, for the next NDAA?
And that's why I'm happy with it, because the leadership with this administration is same party, from the House to the Senate and to the administration, and we know the importance of the island. So that could be there. I'm looking at good support from that angle, and I'm glad to still be on the House Armed Services Committee with the readiness and sea power now I'm involved in. So
well, your buddy, Senator Will Parkinson in the 38th Guam legislature is now suggesting that the population should be protected, and critical defense infrastructure like air raid shelters, etc., be built, maintained, and funded by the Department of Defense, or certainly the government of the United States of America. If it came down to one or the other, which would you rather have, the air raid shelters, the bunkers, or the underground power?
If we can stop them hitting any target, being Guam, that's the safest place to be without any attacks on the island. So first things first, and that's where the nation
missile's
is going
done.
Right.
Well, the missiles are going to get done no matter what. There is one other sticky issue here, and I don't know to what degree you've been involved in the conversation. Former Senator and Director of the Port, Roy Respicio, needs to get new gantry cranes. And unfortunately, as it turns out, the guys that are probably going to be most responsive to the bid coming back with the lowest bid price are mainland Chinese. You think we're going to be able to get an exemption for the Build American?
I believe we have other allies on the east in the PACOM area that are not the Chinese that can provide that service for us. We've been working with the Port Authority on getting their grants approved, and we'll continue that conversation. So I think we can get them the money, and as long as it's in the right pills that we're not buying from China, and I'm sure they won't do that either.
So maybe it's okay. Not buying from China. We're buying from a guy who knows a guy. It just happens to be in China. I don't know. I'll try to get him on the radio again either today or tomorrow to get an idea of what he thinks some of the daylight might be coming from in that particular deal. But it is of a concern. We know that you talk about your choke points, and we got to make sure that first thing we get done is to get the glass breakwater all repaired, and then make sure we don't have anything that will slow down the process of being able to unload containers off of ships, whether they're military ships or whether they're civilian ships. 8 o'clock in the morning. Congressman Jimmy Craig, always nice hearing from you. I see you, buddy.
You too, Ray.
Yep.
Okay.
You know where to find me.
See you later.
That's that. 888-8255-888 TALK KUSG. I got you. This is Pika's best radio station for 4 years. You know why? Because we run Fox News too.
The goal is unity. Lisa Brady, Fox News. As House Republicans hold an annual retreat, focusing now on advancing the Trump agenda. Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter telling Fox News.
We've got a lot of different people with a lot of different views, but at the same time, we understand when we get a mandate.
President Trump expected to join that meeting in Florida as Democrats sound the alarm over what he's done so far. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer calling the weekend firing of 17 inspectors general a midnight massacre of independent government watchdogs. The president's expected to sign defense-related executive orders, including one reinstating service members who were separated from service for refusing COVID vaccines. Another order could target transgender service members.
President Trump does not think that transgender people are mentally or physically stable enough to serve in the U.S. Armed Forces. And this executive order, first reported by the New York Post, makes the case that transition surgeries require recovery and narcotics that could affect somebody's readiness for up to a year.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House. The order is expected to revoke President Biden's protection for transgender troops. The federal prosecutor in D.C. is revisiting some of the Justice Department's charges against hundreds of Capitol riot defendants.
Acting U.S. Attorney Ed Martin is asking prosecutors in D.C. to hand over files, documents, notes, emails, and other information about January 6th defendants charged with felony obstruction for the Capitol attack, the Wall Street Journal reports. A Supreme Court ruling last year said prosecutors overcharged defendants by relying on an obstruction statute intended to prevent financial fraud. The newspaper says Martin described the obstruction charges as a failure and referred to his inquiry as a special project. Last week, President Trump pardoned about 1,500 January 6th defendants.
Fox's Jared Halpern. The Dow rallies up 289, but the NASDAQ tumbles more than 600 points in AI-driven sell-off. America is listening to Fox News.
Stay cool all year round by checking out Johnstone Supply for your HVAC and refrigeration needs. Located at 170 Guerrero Drive on Pickennell Road in Tamuning, call Johnstone Supply today at 671-649-0581. That's 671-649-0581. Open 8 a.m. to noon and 1 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Open Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and closed on Sundays. Stay cool with Johnstone Supply.
With decades experience in Guam and the region, Take Care members have access to the largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs. Membership also includes the high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers and the one-stop FHB Health Center and urgent care. Ask for Take Care. Call 671-647-3526. Go to takecareasia.com for more information. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
Now.
A New York State trooper who reported being shot in the line of duty is now accused of lying about it.
Trooper Thomas Massia of Long Island, New York, in October reported being shot by a driver he'd spotted pulled over by the side of the road.
Shot fired, I'm hit. I think my kneecap's broken.
There was a ceremony when he got out of the hospital and a manhunt for the shooter, but investigators started doubting his story within days and he was suspended without pay. Massia has now turned himself in, fired from his job, charged with evidence tampering, false reporting, and official misconduct. Prosecutors say he put shell casings on the ground, shot himself in a park, then drove back to report it, looking for attention and sympathy. His parents are charged with criminal possession of a firearm. Prosecutors say they had the gun their son used, as well as other guns and $1 million in cash and steroids. All three plead not guilty. Chris Foster, Fox News.
Officials say an earthquake off the coast of Maine late this morning, local time, was felt in every New England state and parts of Pennsylvania.
The U.S. Geological Survey recording a 3.8 magnitude earthquake that centered around York Harbor, Maine. One of the nation's top seismologists, Dr. Lucy Jones, says that quakes in the Northeast are fairly common.
You have earthquakes less frequently than California, but you have them.
Parts of New Jersey were rattled Friday by a 2.4 magnitude earthquake.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. No reports of damage or injuries from today's quake. An iconic beverage maker gets nostalgic.
A year after the launch of the short-lived Coca-Cola Spiced, Coke is adding another new flavor to its lineup, Coca-Cola Orange Cream, which is slated to go on sale February the 10th in the U.S. and Canada. The soda infuses cola with orange and vanilla flavors and will be sold in regular and zero-sugar varieties. The company said that it developed the product due to growing consumer demand for the comforting, nostalgic flavor. Orange Cream, first introduced with the creamsicle ice cream bar in 1937, has enjoyed a recent renaissance.
Fox's Hillary Barsky and Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
It's hard to believe, but Security Title is celebrating 25 years. This milestone reflects the dedication of our employees, who are as passionate about our work as we are about our community. We are deeply grateful to the realtors, lenders, attorneys, investors, and to all the buyers and sellers we serve. Your support has kept our doors open for the past 25 years and is the reason for our success. Security Title looks back with gratitude and forward with optimism to the journey ahead. Thank you, Guam.
Start your day with KFC's $5 breakfast deals. Choose the AM loaded platter, AM chicken rice bowl, or AM sausage, biscuit, and gravy. And now, enjoy a cup of premium Lavazza coffee from Italy with every meal. Head to your favorite KFC for our $5 breakfast deals and enjoy a taste of Italy with every sip. Breakfast is served from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. daily. KFC. Finger-licking good mornings just got better.
Need publicity for your big events? We've got a great feature on ThePOINT's website to help you get your happening noticed for free. Just go to thepoint.gu and look for the community button. Click on submit your event and then fill in the blanks. You can even upload your flyer. Once we approve it, it'll show up on all Choice Broadcasting websites. Did I say it was free? From 5Ks to car washes, lunch plates, fundraisers, whatever. Let us help you get the word out. Free! Get started on thepoint.gu.
Your 8 o'clock local news is brought to you by Family Finance.
Half a day, it's 8:06. I'm Donna DeJesus with a look at your local news on The Point. Guam's leaders and residents are weighing in on FEMA's possible restructuring under the Trump administration. Senator Sean Gumatauta says this is a chance to reform FEMA, not dismantle it, citing the agency's vital role in disaster recovery after events like Typhoon Mawar. Critics warn removing FEMA could leave Guam vulnerable. Gumatauta says Guam must be part of any reorganization to ensure its needs are met. Senators Jesse Lujan and Sabrina Salas-Matanani stress the importance of transparency and tailored solutions. Residents expressed mixed views, with some fearing a loss of aid, while others see potential in local control. Meanwhile, a tax lawyer has raised concerns with Northern Marianas delegate Kimberly King Hines about USPS delays affecting taxpayers on Guam and in the CNMI. Tax attorney Tina Azervand says these delays are hindering basic rights and tax compliance. Critical IRS documents often arrive with only a few days to respond, and some citizens miss deadlines. Limited mail delivery, especially in areas like Tinian and Rhoda, makes it harder to meet federal deadlines. Azervand urged King Heinz to address this issue with Congress and USPS to protect taxpayer rights and ensure fair treatment for those in the territories. More news after this.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that family vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,000 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña 475-4545 or Dedido 633-4473. Family Finance.
AG Doug Moylan has launched a criminal investigation into irregularities at the port after claims of tampered safety seals on containers. Moylan raised concerns about 150 containers a month with broken, missing, or incorrect seals. Customs confirmed no evidence of tampering, calling it mostly a data entry issue. While investigations continue, Moylan suspects illegal cargo removal. Customs, which inspects 100% of containers, aims to increase inspections to tackle drug smuggling. The AG's office is also looking into possible corruption at the port linked to these incidents. And 2 committee heads in the 38th Guam legislature have named their members. Senator Sabrina Salas Matinani announced the Committee on Health and Veterans Affairs, with Vice Speaker Tony Yada as Vice Chair for Health, Senator Vince Borja as Vice Chair for Veterans Affairs, and members Speaker Frank Blas Jr., Senators Chris Duenas, Jesse Lujan, Shelley Calvo, Sean Gumatauta, and Tina Muñoz Barnes. The committee will hold an informational briefing about the new public hospital next Tuesday. Senator Vince Borja announced the members of the Committee on Education, Libraries, and Public Broadcasting, including Senator Joseph Augustine as a member. And those are your top stories. Back to Ray with weather.
Boys, everybody's getting all of their stuff together, right? You got the Republicans doing that in here and in the House of Representatives, but we still don't have a minority leader. It's a nothing burger to me, guys, but it is just kind of amusing. It's 3 weeks.
Hey, we're working on that.
What? I was with the guys over at Shirley's the other day. It's, the guys, legends, they were out there.
We'll figure it out.
I know. Smoke break. Mostly, that's our terrible impersonation of Minority Leader Joseph Augustine. That's what we'll do. But before we get into the weather, I got word that we've got a slowdown. Cops taking pictures around the Submarina area by Barragata Heights. And I'll tell you what, unless you'd have told me about it, I would have missed it, because when you got to zoom in real tight to be able to see what's going on. So yeah, I expect some delays through there and maybe some police activity that is going on. 10 after 8, mostly sunny with highs near 87 degrees here today. We got the east-northeast winds 9 to 16, gusting as high as 20. That's today. Isolated showers and partly cloudy skies in the forecast tonight. Now, we had a lot of clouds in the deal yesterday, so maybe that's going to be the same here for today. Hard to tell because Landon's not here, but he is listening. Landon's listening. We were talking about what was it? He
said he likes yellow snow.
Something about that. Yeah. But it was there. It is. It says, I waited tables 3 years after college. We recognize the importance of repeat customers and would thank them with a $25 voucher a couple of times a year. So what about all of the places that you go on a regular basis? Wow. You pay the bill and put down a nice little tip or something like that. Has anybody ever come to you and said, man, Joe, we're just so happy you and Ruckus come here after soccer. Here's $25. Here's a gift certificate because you're one of our best customers.
I can't remember, but that would feel really good.
Right?
Yeah.
How about every once in a while, maybe there's just kind of do it on the sly and they don't charge you for beer. That happens every once in a while. 8:11 in the morning. Because they lose count. That's why. Where was I in the weather? It's going to be nice for the rest of the next couple of days. High surf and rip current warnings are in effect. Sunset tonight should be about 6:19. There it is. News and weather together. This is The Point.
76 Circle K introduces My Rewards 2.0, the loyalty program you love made even better. Save 5 cents per gallon every day just for being a member. Earn 1 point for every dollar you spend on fuel or store purchases. Plus, get 5 bonus points for every gallon when you purchase mid-grade or premium fuel. Redeem your points for big savings like up to 75 cents off per gallon or $20 gift certificates. Plus, enjoy exclusive club rewards, free hot dogs, coffee, and more. Download the My Rewards app today from the App Store or Google Play. 76 Circle K My Rewards 2.0. Better rewards, bigger savings.
Turn your old phone into new possibilities. Trade-in is back at IT&E with more savings. Now you can get as much as $880 toward a new phone when you trade in your old phone. Plus, any remaining credit can be used to purchase accessories or applied to your account. Choose from the latest devices to upgrade your mobile experience on the widest network in Guam and the Marianas. Terms and conditions apply. Visit ITE.net or store for details.
Hey.
IT&E, connections that matter.
812 Ray Gibson Show portion is brought to you by APL American President Lines, a global presence with a local home.
Morning talk that matters. It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Got it. 8:13 on the Ray Gibson Show, and thank you, Alicia Duenas-Anderson. She heard me begging. I shouldn't have to kneel, right? I shouldn't have to beg. You got cameras. We made it the easiest thing in the world to take a picture of something and send it to the radio station so that we can air it on the visuals on KUAM and Facebook and YouTube, etc. All I wanted was a picture of the billboard in Naganya, the one over at the Chief Kipoa Loop, where you always got the guy that's out there with his best penmanship ever on the cardboard. May you please help me out, or whatever. And there's people, I suppose, that give money, but there's a sign across the way that says basically, don't give these guys money. You know, there's a panhandling, it's against the law, it's dangerous, etc. To which somebody, almost immediately after it was erected, scrawled the language, Moylan hates people, poor people. It was P-O-O-R, and then they realized they ran out of room, and so just PPL.
I recognize that handwriting.
Exactly.
I know that M.
I know what you've been doing with your life. Anyway, so somebody went out recently, because I checked it yesterday. Somebody went out recently.
Some do-gooder.
And actually, instead of it saying Moylan hates, they put Valentine likes on it. Perfect. And leave this thing up there until after Valentine's. I think that would be the appropriate thing.
We couldn't put that guy in jail, right, Ray?
Exactly.
He's putting hearts everywhere.
We won't stand for that kind of positive message.
Pampers.
8:14 in the morning. I just think that's fantastic. You know, Doug's got all these other battles around here. It's nice to know that somebody is running around with a spray can that has his back. So everybody all pissed off at Rev and Tax and Motor Vehicle for all of the issues they've got, and their now inability to even bring customers in. Even if you're just going to wait. Tell you what, go wait someplace else because the machine doesn't work. Don't come here if you're coming for that. It doesn't work right now. But with the other side of the story, and to shine a white-hot spotlight on some good news about the Department of Revenue and Taxation is our Doge guy, Charlie Hermosa. Buenas and day, Charlie. How you doing?
Hey, buenas, Ray, and good morning, Real Joe and Donna D. Yeah, so it took an op-ed, a call into the director, a few conversations with you on the air, but I finally made a payment online using my iPhone. Yes, I finally, it went through. It did not give me that little message. It did not give me that message that said, too bad, so sad, find an alternative way to be able to pay us.
But you know what? In fixing that, I think they screwed something else out. I'm on a Facebook page. I'm on a Facebook page called Azuda Guahan, and Azuda Guahan, there are people complaining because there's certain items that you need to upload sometimes to the Rev and Tax website, and it's not allowing them. It's not allowing them. They're saying you don't have permission to be able to upload documentation to this site, and depending on what it is that you're trying to do, that could be a problem. That could be an actual issue. So, it's one step forward, two steps back.
No, absolutely. And you know what? I made a comment online yesterday, and it's really not the people, right? The people are great. Once you get to the window, there was a comment made on, I think it was KUAM, that said, once I get to the window, the people are great, right? It's the process. The process is completely broken. The system and process is broken. And we continue to Band-Aid, right? Like you said, so we plug one hole and two others pop up. And so I think that we need to take a step back and, as much as we see things happening over on the mainland, but that's exactly what needs to happen. We need to do a thorough sort of deep dive into seeing how these systems are working, because in the same I think show that I'm watching, there was another segment, and somebody had said, well, the AS400. And I said, my gosh, I can't believe we're still even saying AS400. And probably the new generation of, folks that are in IT don't even know what AS400 looks like. and Guam still has it. We still have government systems that are run by AS400. So all this money that we're getting for cybersecurity, all this money that we're getting to build infrastructure, I really want to see a good plan to see exactly how this money is going to be spent, because right now all these little things are adding up to a lot of hurt.
Well, don't we have a thing over at the Department of IT or something like that? The BI, the Bureau of Information and Technology.
Well,
There is.
exactly.
There's a Bureau of Information and Technology. That's supposed to be what they do. There is be able to recognize where we might have opportunities to upgrade our infrastructure, our information infrastructure, and then take those active steps to doing it. Is this another version, for techies in the government of Guam, or just just guys like what's the other one where you just go, wow, I'm sure there's somebody out there making a lot of money with no expectations of getting anything done. Like, what is it? The colonization. Commission on Decolonization. Is this like another version of the Commission on Decolonization? Yeah, we got it, but no, nobody ever. They have meetings every once in a while, but that's it.
We see a lot of that. Look at the staffing patterns in a lot of these apartments. We have a lot of that. We have a lot of that fat. But the other part is, I've been, so now I'm like on this kick on just looking at all the different websites. We can't even get our own website for the legislative up and running. I can't click. I don't know if you can click on it yet, but as of a day or 2 days ago, I wasn't able to click on any of the. Yeah, so I don't even, so I'm commenting on things I haven't really read through, because all I could see is just the initial title and what the bill is for. But because the other one is the $10 million that Senator Teller wants to give to DPW. Again, $10 million for what? What is the plan for $10 million? But so now and the other it's a small little things that add up. And talking about customer service. Mm-hmm. These are the things that are experienced by the folks that come, to visit us. These little things really add up, and they go back, and it just from one thing that's pointed out online, any comments that are made, you look at the websites for the government of Guam. The last copyright that was updated, some are 2018, 2023. They're little things, right? But those things really matter to me. Like, take the time. And, it's not going to, there's no issue. Call
the guy that runs the website for the Guam Election Commission and have him take a look at every other, and OPA. OPA's got a solid website. There might be a couple of others that I can think of off the top of my head. They're just actually a pleasure to go to, because you can find what you're looking for at these websites. So find those two guys and have them take a look at everybody else's stuff. Hey, 20 after 8, I got to let you go. I got Will Bunker Parkinson on the line, so I want to get to him.
Yes. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You too, Charlie. I'll see you soon. 20 after 8 o'clock in the morning. Senator Will Parkinson, minority leader of the 38th Guam legislature. What happened? Where'd he go?
He went into his bunker.
What?
Hello,
I hear you. I'm sorry, I might have accidentally hung up on you. I get so excited I don't know which buttons to push anymore.
Hey, I feel you, Ray. My heart goes out to you.
Yes, here I am, victim of technology, bro. I gotta start with that because it's amusing to me. So the minority leader of the 38th Guam legislature still has not been decided.
Nope, I believe it's still a deadlock.
Have you put your name in?
Oh my goodness, no! I do not want anything to do with minorities.
I dare you guys. I dare you to go, girls. No fighting, girls. If you guys are going to fight, then the men are going to take over.
You know what? You're a braver man than I am, Ray.
No, I'm not. I was good. We had an accident out in the front of the radio station. Real Joe says, I dare you to go outside and say, you can't park there. It's our new thing. All right, but I'm trying to figure out how much of a nothing burger it is. It's just fun to to point out the issues here that between 6 grown adults that we can't sort out who the minority leader is going to end up being. It just seems like one of those things that we should have solved even before it was inauguration. But I know those were busy times towards the end of the 37th Guam legislature. 8:22 in the morning. I had a conversation with Jimmy Craig Moylan just a little bit ago and talking about all of the good things that seem to be moving towards Guam's area, especially where it comes to our defense. But you are suggesting concerns that I'm not going to lie. I have thought about that. I've lain awake at night being concerned about that as well. Food security keeps me up at night because there's 160,000 of us, and there's only a half dozen Paylesses and cost you lesses, and I don't know what's going to happen if there's ever a bright light and the ships stop coming. Well, I do know what's going to happen. Everybody's going to die. But having said that, food security worries me. We don't have drills. We get word every other day from the Homeland Security and Civil Defense, the JIC, that says there's no danger to the people of Guam based on the North Korean missile launch, whatever. And I'm going, but maybe that would be a good time to practice in case there was one. Maybe there ought to be opportunities that we have. Same way we had fire drills when we're kids. What about now that there's a larger, greater concern? And what do we do if we hear the air raid sirens go off and it's not typhoon condition 2? Know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and you know what, Ray? I'm a big believer in that failure to plan is planning to fail. And, this is exactly the time we need to be having this discussion when we're safe, when we're warm in our bed, and we're watching the arguments on the legislature channel, not because we're watching the arguments on the radio while the air bombs are dropping on us.
Yeah.
This is the time to do it. And I'm opening up this conversation that we need civilian infrastructure. We need civilian civil defense projects. We need the training. We need public preparedness. We need to make sure we have energy independence. We need civil and military integration. And honestly, with Guam being at the tip of the spear here, this is where we should be testing all the most innovative things to protect ourselves. We heard testimony during the confirmation hearings in the mainland that Guam is the most important military base in the world, and we should treat it as such by making sure that we invest in the civilian infrastructure. We make sure that we have basics like air raid shelters. I mean, you're telling me that we are the most important military base in the world, and we're not making preparations like we should be. And so this is why I introduced this resolution, so that we can at least start this conversation. Is this something we want on the island? And I think it's something that nobody wants, but I think it's something that we all
We
need.
should know. There should be a thing. What's your plan? How resistant to a blast would my house be? I mean, trying to figure. Okay, I live X number of miles away from Anderson Air Force Base, X number of miles away from Camp Blas, X number of miles away from Big Navy and Sumai. To what degree am I exposed? Will my little Hyundai house take care of me? Will that provide me the protection that I need? When I was, again, kids, there used to be, I want to say the Cathedral, what is now the Academy lunch cafeteria. I think it used to have a civil defense sign on it. I think over by in Laddystone Park, off to the side, there's caves that were built, I think, during the Second World War. And I want to say that there was a civil defense sign up there. What's the inventory? We know where to go in the event of a typhoon. We know they open up the schools or whatever. Where would we go in the limited amount of time in our villages near our work in order to try to survive the blast? I mean, can we start with something as simple as that? Just identify. We got all these signs, Will, that say this is your meeting place after a tsunami, which we've never ever had. But out of an abundance of caution, somebody has put all of that stuff together. Do we need to have some signage up that say, in the event of an attack, this is the building that you duck into?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we should have some preparations like that. And not only should we have these signs up, we should practice them periodically. Practice, like fire drills, but not just for schools, but for the civilian population as well. Like, I think these things are important so that on the day of, people aren't scrambling. People are trained. People know.
They'll be scrambling. They'll be scrambling. No, you're never ever going to prevent that. But it would be nice to know that as an alternative to stick your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye, that the other alternative is to be able to go and the cafeteria someplace, old big concrete building that we might have. I even think the old administration building before they tore it down years ago. I think that one used to have civil defense signs on it.
Yeah, and I mean, but we've gone through a long time. We are living through the Pax Americana right now, and we've lived through it for a very long time since World War II. But that doesn't mean that peace is going to last forever, and it would be incumbent on us to be prepared. World War II was not that long ago. We still have survivors from that era. So it's not like we're talking about something that we only read about in our history books. We have people we can actually talk to, and they could tell us about the bombing and stuff. And I believe they would be the first to tell us that we should be prepared in the future.
Yeah, run head for the hills. That might be one of the answers. But, it's a bomb falling, over on the old Pan Am building in Sumai is a whole lot different than a nuke falling on the old Pan Am building in Sumai. So, there's a reality part of the question that we have to have, depending on what it is that they're talking about, depending on the yield of what the Chinese are referring to as the Guam killer, what are our odds of survival in that?
Well, my belief is that, we are not going to be seeing a nuclear attack. If we're going to see a nuclear attack, just that at the end of the world scenario already, Ray. We're looking at mutually assured destruction, and I don't think that's the route any war on Guam or any actions on Guam are going to take. If anything, I believe that they're going to attack our critical infrastructure in an effort to cripple Guam, but I don't think that we're going to be seeing nukes, But from my lips to God's ears, I hope that's the case, right? Because if anybody gets nuked anywhere in the world, that is basically an endgame scenario, right?
Yeah, probably end up being something like that. I'm trying to remember what the technology is, and they just explode one very, very high in the atmosphere, and the EMP blast would take out all of the electronics around here, except for spares and redundancy and whatever's in a Faraday cage up at Anderson Air Force Base. But it otherwise would devastate what we refer to as civilization around here. Would be just as bad as if the planes stopped coming and the ships coming for a long, long time. 8:29 in the morning.
The things I'm more worried about are things like missiles and hypersonic threats, security, people trying to take out our critical infrastructure, our power. So, those are the things I'd be more concerned about than I would be an actual nuclear attack.
Wait, are you on a committee there at like a public health or public service safety community there at the legislature?
Am I on the public health committee?
No, I'm sorry, public safety. Are you on a public safety? Is that something that you could recommend?
I am not on the public safety committee. I believe that is being run by Senator Shangu Matautou.
Yeah, but I mean, you can get in there, right?
I can make a phone call and ask. This public safety and doing the right thing for Guam knows no party lines.
Yeah. Well, just, you're representatives of the people just like him. I'm just saying, ought to be able to say, hey, colleague, I was tossing and turning the other night, pondering on whether or not my little Hyundai house is going to be able to take care of me in the event of the bright flash. What happens then? Dave Duane is online, says, fact, Guam has no bomb shelters. Was told our concrete homes are our shelter. Stay away from the windows. Stay away and don't look at the bright light. I don't know. Lot to go over, and whether or not they're going to put the defense system and then a just in case air raid shelter system that they get to build and maintain. I don't know. Bottom of the hour, we'll watch and see what your investigations come up with.
Absolutely. This is a conversation the community has to have. Let's have it while we're all safe and sound and not panicking.
You're not panicking.
You're not panicking, right?
I'm not, because I figure I'd be taken out by the dawn's early light. It's one of those things. That's why I'm not paying any of my credit card bills, because you just never know what's going to happen. I'm going to wait until they say, obviously the bright flash isn't coming, Ray. You've at least got to pay the interest. 8:31. Listen, Will, you have a fantastic day. I'll see you soon, Senator.
You as well, sir. You have a great day, my friend.
888-8255-888-TALK. What am I getting? I got we're getting to the end of that conversation. I'm getting a variety of buzzes from GWA. Let me see. We appreciate your patience as crews working on water leak repairs. Seek alternate routes and adhere to traffic safety signage. Where's this at? Road closure alert. Intersection of Herman Cortez Avenue.
Oh boy! They're
No,
shutting the water down, Ray.
I don't think it's
shutting the water.
I don't think it's Herman Cortez.
Santa Anas are blowing
it's
hard.
Hernan Cortez. Yeah, Hernan Cortez and Father Duenas have it. Unless Trump changed that too. It's the Gulf of America, and we've changed it to Herman Cortez Avenue. Tammy Post Office, let them know what time it is. 8:32 in the morning. Donna D with our last big look at news and headlines. We got the celebrity birthdays and special events, and I have not yet heard from him, but I imagine that we've got a Klitsky cameo coming up in the broadcast in just moments.
Attention, all sales superstars. Choice Broadcasting is looking for a dynamic radio sales executive to join our winning team. Do you thrive on building relationships, have a knack for closing deals, and love the fast pace of radio sales? If so, we want you. You'll enjoy a competitive salary, excellent commissions, and the chance to work with the best in the broadcasting business. Apply now at the Choice Broadcasting office in Tamaning. This is cool. Sharky's bringing some friends in from the China Medical University Hospital in Taichung, in Taiwan. And I've actually...
Oh, Taichung.
I don't know if I've been to that hospital in particular, but I was I'm familiar with medical treatment available in that place, and actually had seen it in action once upon a time. So it's going to be interesting. Talking about a patient with atrial fibrillation. AF.
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
AF.
Carjack.
MF.
Carjack arrest.
Yes. So anyway, so we're gonna talk about that because there's a thing on my watch. There's a thing the Garmin does while I'm asleep, and it looks for variability in whatever my contractions or something like that. And I didn't even know there was such a thing that existed. But that is going to be on the way here in the 9 o'clock hours. I said Klitsky cameo. Have you talked to him?
No.
You didn't.
I did not, man.
Beat him and ask him what the special of the day is.
Roger that.
Roger that. All right. Donna D with the last big look at news and headlines. Alpha Donna, what's going on?
Congressman Jim Moylan has been appointed to key roles in the U.S. Congress. He'll serve on 2 subcommittees under the House Foreign Affairs Committee and is the new Republican co-chair of the House Philippines Friendship Caucus. Moylan was also elected vice chairman of the National Security Task Force. Meanwhile, Ukadu High School's mock trial team won the 2025 Guam High Mock Trial Championship. They defeated Guam High in a case about an opioid overdose. Ukadu will represent Guam at the National Mock Trial Championship in Phoenix this May. Fundraising efforts are underway to support the team's trip. And Make-A-Wish Guam and CNMI's Next Gen board is holding a Valentine's Cookie Gram fundraiser. For $10, you can send freshly baked cookies with a Wish Kids illustration. Proceeds will go to granting wishes for local children. Orders are due by this Friday, with deliveries from February 10 to 14. Email orders to nextgengucnmi@gmail.com or on Instagram at Make-A-Wish Guam CNMI. And that was your last look at local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
All right. I know you made an order for Girl Scout cookies. Have you gotten anything back from them yet?
I didn't make an order.
Oh, you did not make an order?
No.
What happened? Didn't you like what? Diet? What? What's going on?
Nobody. I got nobody.
Huh?
No one.
I don't know if there's still time to order.
It's too late.
You might have to get the extras.
I'm gonna have to get the black market one.
That's no. There's somebody will. There's always somebody that ordered more than they need. Could you not decide which one you wanted?
I know which one.
The s'mores, but they don't make the s'mores anymore.
The peanut butter and the Thin Mint.
Oh,
red number 3 velvet.
Yeah, there's the problem there. All right, celebrity birthdays for today include Alan Alda from MASH. My God, this guy's almost 90 years old.
Holy crap! That's the one in the bus, right? The one when in the last episode when he was telling the story about the chicken?
Yes. Fine actor, because I didn't realize what beta male he was until several years after that went off the air. Barbie Benton, who wasn't she at one point Hugh Hefner's wife?
Weren't they all?
She was in Playboy.
I think all of them were. Right?
She was in Playboy as well as the television show Hee Haw.
Okay.
From which
There
all
you
of
go.
us, all of us, that was a thing back in the olden day. Hee Haw was a show, and even if you didn't like country
Coveralls.
music, it was a great country western variety show.
Yeah.
With some just outstanding
was
Roy
fun.
Clark on the guitars. God, that was a great show. They need to bring something like that back. Catherine Morris from Cold Case is 56. I always mispronounce her name, kind of on purpose. Sarah McLachlan. McLachlan is 57 years old. Former internet celebrity Mo Rocca is 56 years old. Who else is there? Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett, 53.
There you go.
Yeah,
Never heard of her.
I think it's one of those. Isn't that one of the ones that they put in there because they thought she was going to be like nice conservative and then went over and started doing
she
liberal
flipped.
crap?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't pay that much attention to it. Joey Fat One of NSYNC is 48 years old.
Is it Fat? Oh, it's
Fatone.
Fatone.
And
Ray.
Nick Carter from Nick Carter of the Backstreet Boys
There you
is
go,
45
Nick, the
years
straight
old.
one.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Allegedly. Elijah Wood from The Lord of the Rings is
There
44
you
years
go.
old. There it is. That's the actual Frodo.
The Frodo Baggins.
Still looks like a little boy.
He does.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you try to make him look like a grown up in
he
whatever
still
movie.
has the ring.
Yeah, but he's still got those feet too. I mean, kind of like Leonard Nimoy and the ears. I bet he's kept all the prosthetics in case he's got to open a mall or something like that. Happy 44th birthday to Elijah Wood. Tom Hopper, if you watch The Umbrella Academy, you know who I'm talking about, is 40 years old. I watched 2 or 3 episodes of Umbrella Academy, and I could not find one character I liked. There wasn't one in the entire show, and I thought, well, if you're going to use that as a basis for liking a show, maybe there's something else worth looking at. It's Daisy Day.
There we go.
You're
Daisy
a
the
daisy.
weed?
You're a daisy if you do. It's in the flower. International Lego Day, and on International Lego Day, a reminder that when an employee retires from the Lego company, they're given a solid gold Lego. I found out about that this morning, and now if I know it, you have to know it. Rattlesnake Roundup Day. Get out there, round up all the rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
We had one of those a few years ago, and it was a success because you never see rattlesnakes on Guam anymore.
Never, ever.
Yeah, it's one of those things, they did that back in the old black and white 50s days. Blueberry Pancake Day. It's Kazoo Day. I have a master's degree in kazoo. And Speak Up and Succeed
You
Day.
learned at Juilliard.
And Pop Art Day. Not Pop Tart Day, but Pop Art Day.
Pop art?
Yeah. Hey, do you want Pop Tarts?
Sure.
Okay,
I
I'll
do.
bring them. Okay, I got the chocolate fudge.
No frosting.
They're expired,
No,
Donna.
they've got frosting. It's good.
I know
Frosting,
they're
I like the plain
expired.
one.
frosting came out around the same. Not in my head. Frosting came out around the same time they started putting hair on GI Joes.
They put hair on G.I. Joe?
Yeah, well, no, in the original GI Joes, that's not real hair.
Yeah, they
There's
had-
no hair. It's just, and then like in the late '60s, early '70s, they put hair on the GI Joe.
What do you mean up here?
Yeah,
They
like
put
I
I
hair
thought like here.
and
everywhere.
and the black
Armpit
GI
hair.
Joe,
Yeah.
and then Kung Fu Grip, and then they made them small, which is I will
That's
never.
the one I remember. The one you could put in the fish tank.
I'll never get past that. No, they need the big 12-inch GI Joe thing,
Yeah.
and all of the different clothes that you could change into, and all the different contraptions that they had. The little GI Joe Jeep. They had talking GI Joe, but they never had crying GI Joe. You know why? Because GI Joes don't cry, man. GI Joes and Barbies. Toy Story missed a real opportunity on that one. 20 away from 9 o'clock in the morning. It's the Ray Gibson Show. Hopefully, Klitschke cameo coming up before too much longer. If not, don't worry. I'll figure out ways to kill time. And we'll talk about Asian medicine, Asian American medicine, coming out of Taiwan here in just a little bit as the Ray Gibson Show continues.
At APL, their expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing their efforts in giving back to the community. APL's dedicated team in Guam and the U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 671-588-4651 or visit apl.com.
How do you keep your love alive? We want to know and share it with everyone in hopes we can all learn something new this Valentine's season. Submit your secret to love via WhatsApp 888-1043 or 888-1011. You'll have a chance to win some amazing Valentine's Day prizes from our fine sponsors: Vince Jewelers, Studio 211, Anywhere Clothing, Fontaine from GU Ink Hustle Tattoo and Body Piercing Studio, Tove's Flower Shop, Buddy's Home Furnishings, and Star. We'll be doing on-air giveaways as well as a grand prize giveaway. Don't miss out. It's simple. Send your secret to love via WhatsApp to Star 101 or Boss 104. One submission per person, so spread the word and let's spread the love.
No. Yeah, well, this is going to be interesting. Klitsky cameo coming up here in just a couple of minutes. And recently, as in yesterday, there was a Fisher cameo in my email. I got a note from him. Yeah, he's
Tom.
He was making a big
attorney.
deal. He was making a big deal about winning a case for a kid. Culpertuno, I think is the name. And it stems from, I had to look it up. It stems from basically looked like a controlled buy. There it is. This is the story from him. Today, Russell Capaturo was fully exonerated. All pretrial conditions were lifted and his case dismissed. He had endured 3 months of unjust accusation from the Attorney General, who, when pressed by Mr. Capaturo to prove the case, admitted he could not. The dismissal by Attorney General Doug Moylan, who has widely marketed himself as the toughest AG on crime, was necessitated by a sloppy investigation and significant mishandling of the case. Attorney Thomas J. Fisher, Capaturo's legal counsel, strongly criticized the negligence that led to his client's unwarranted prosecution. This case represents a failure in the justice system to uphold the principles of fairness and due process. While I'm relieved that Mr. Calpaturo's innocence has been affirmed, the mishandling of this case caused unnecessary suffering to an innocent man. The AG should reflect upon the power of his office to upend a citizen's life and behave in a responsible, professional manner. And then he goes on to talk a little bit more about the ordeal. And like I said, the case stems from a investigation that was started by the police department. Stand by one here, and they were trying to make they had a target location, TL for short. They had noted a vehicle observed and then drove away at the time of the report. 40 was identified as Porte. 40 was the name of one of the guys that the police had an interest in. Detectives searched another vehicle after witnessing what they believed from their training had been a drug deal at the TL. In total, around 2 grams of suspected methamphetamine discovered, which was field tested and found to be presumptively positive for crystal methamphetamine. September 26, Judge Ben Sison signed a warrant for the search of the property of the TL and certain vehicles known to remain on the property in order to seize, among other things, drug-related evidence. The warrant was executed October the 3rd. Porte, 40, was found in a makeshift van canopy dwelling with a prescription bottle containing several baggies of suspected methamphetamine, a digital scale, etc. The other names involved in this particular case include Dyson Ludwig. Russell Calpaturo Jr. was found hiding behind a truck when police arrived to execute the warrant. 5 feet in front of him was a bag containing a substance that later was field tested and returned a presumptive positive result for methamphetamine. Does that sound like enough probable cause for a jury to pass a true bill? Wait, the guy was at a location with a bunch of known druggies in their known druggie Saki Millennia cars.
Wrong place, wrong time.
And he was 5 feet away from a bag. I'm just saying, it's not like the Attorney General went and did this himself, right? That went through a grand jury, and it looks like the grand jury gave a true bill on him based on proximity, same as they did with Stacey Pekagui and Gerald Porte, a.k.a. 40. So it looks like there might have been at least enough of a case there for them to do all of that stuff. So I don't know that the haranguing, if you will, of Attorney General Doug Moylan by Attorney Fisher is warranted.
That's an opportunity to spank him.
But wait, what's the connection between the Attorney Fisher and the Attorney General's office? Wait a second. Hasn't he said he's interested in running for a nonpartisan race in the future? AG's office is not
an attempt at the office.
Race. I don't know. 8:46 in the morning, and maybe you were sitting on that grand jury and said, "They're all guilty. I want to get out of here."
Yeah.
Just here, true bill, everybody, true bill, right?
Send him down the river.
8:46 in the morning, and it's time now for a Klitsky cameo, ladies and gentlemen. This is broadcasting now from a secret bunker location not paid for by Will Parkinson or the federal government in the north end of town. If there's anybody that you want to stand behind when the bright lights start flashing, it's Bob Klitsky. Good morning, Senator. Your Honor, welcome back to the program.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Ray.
I thought I'd preface your Klitsky cameo with a little story led about Doug Moylan and Attorney General wannabe Tom Fisher. I thought that was an interesting beginning salvo in his campaign to take the office away from Doug Moylan.
Yes, sir.
And today's Klitsky cameo is entitled "Doug's Veto." And the thing is, we've got so many Doug Moylan stories around here, the same way we've got so many Donald Trump stories. It's hard to pinpoint one of his vetoes. So, Counselor, state your case.
Well, the January 26th issue of the Daily News ran a story that was headlined, "Moylan, no signature for new hospital infrastructure installs. Landowners moved to block condemnation." So, Doug and the governor's office have been fighting over lending the money to Gura during the condemnation, etc. And we with a story here where what Gura did violated the open government law. You'll recall that what happened was that the governor wrote to Gura. And by the way, it's not the Gura Board of Commissioners. If you have commissioners, you have a commission. And the Daily News gets it wrong every time. Footnote. Anyhow, the governor wrote to the Gura commissioners saying, I'm going to lend you a couple $1 million for infrastructure project she spelled it out. For the hospital, etc. When Gura ran it, they said a couple $1 million for community development projects. So no person who read that notice would be put on notice what was going to be discussed at the meeting.
Because that could have been a gym. That could have been a basketball court.
Did was void.
Yeah, it could have been a basketball court or the senior center like I've got in the village, something like that. That were a police station. Stuff that we're used to, not something as unique as a medical complex or hospital.
And the statute says to put people on notice as to what's going to be discussed. So if you're going to do the basketball court, the words basketball court better be in that notice. But here was a letter from the governor. It should have been headlined the advance agenda, letter from governor offering $2 million for hospital, but they didn't. They tried to slide it under the radar, and they got caught.
Well, it's one of their favorite tricks.
Everything they did after that was void. Now, I'm not going to get into the mechanics of condemnation because it's pretty complicated, but this failure to comply with the open government law just dooms the whole thing from the start. And Doug called him on it, and we had the usual exchange of sarcasm between Doug and Crystal Paco, and they were sure of their position, et cetera, et cetera. But the trump card here, a word that used to have a different meaning than today, was that Doug has to sign on every single contract worth more than $500,000. And he said, I'm not going to sign anything dealing with the new hospital infrastructure installs. Now, this is going to cause the CCU to get all of their skivvies bunched up, because they're saying we're not moving forward on power and water and sewer out there until we see some signed papers that it's a go. We're not going to spin our wheels on that one. And so Doug wins this round, and I don't know how he could be forced to sign if he holds that as a matter of law, it's not signable.
Mm-hmm.
He'd have to go all the way to the end of all of these court cases, and then maybe injunction or mandamus would lie. But for now, Doug wins. Not to mention the fact that you've got a couple of litigious people who they didn't have to sue, and I pointed that out on the Cameo, that in a condemnation case, they'd be defendants. So they could raise what would ordinarily be claims from their position as defendants. Now, these are hard cases to win when the case is you use your condemnation improperly. Not impossible, but really hard. The real action in a condemnation trial is setting the value and not whether the condemnation is proper.
But the righteous, I mean, that's got to come into play. Does Gura have the rights to execute eminent domain? I believe the answer to that is yes, but only under certain conditions. And I don't think the land that is being condemned meets those conditions.
Well, and there we go. Yeah, we watched Gura use eminent domain in Jonia, Asan, and Petey for urban renewal processes. And if they'd had to, they could have used it for places like a fire station or whatever, but they never did before. So they're out on thin ice there.
Because I'd venture to say, Your Honor, I would venture to say that there are other areas of Guam that could meet some kind of renewal standards that do exist in their remit. Maybe getting water and sewer services. Those poor devils that live up in the forgotten parts of Datadu up there, where they got that land that rip-off plan that they had years ago, the Zero Downs, etc. I think those areas are ripe for some kind of attention from somebody whose remit, I like using that word, is to create living space, affordable living space.
Yes, sir.
Hospital complex is neither.
But Doug has the power right now to see whether it moves or whether it doesn't move. So I thought that as a matter of wagering, the governor put her chips on the wrong number.
Well, and we have talked about her other part, and I thought it was an interesting gammon. Although I'm curious as to whether or not the legislature is going to address this, where she wants to return the land back to the Paris family. That will be a fun adventure to watch, I think, over the next little bit.
Yeah, and it's always been sort of a defense to doing anything. Well, we could, if we didn't do that, we could give the land back to the original owners. And of course, I think you'd have a hard time finding an original owner that is someone who owned the property at the time it was condemned. What they mean when they're saying that, the owner at the time of condemnation, instead of the original owner, the person who had first fee simple title to that property.
Yes.
But I just don't like to see my government giving away property that I have an interest in for free. It's just not good government policy. no matter how much you like the Paris family. And I really do like the Paris family. I served in the Guard with one of them and tipped a bottle or two with another one of them.
As have I. As have I. We've bet on the outcomes of election before. 8:55, 8:56. Let me, while I've got you on the line here and have an opportunity to take advantage of the vast institutional knowledge that you bring into these cameo appearances, how lame duck is Governor Lilian Guerrero at this point? I mean, she's in the last, couple of months, last 24 months of her administration. She can't run again for this office. And to what degree does anybody outside of the executive branch have to listen to her?
Well, you have to listen to her because she's still the governor. The problem with her brand of lame duck for several months is that now she could do what she always wanted to do and have to fear non-reelection in the process. So I've seen governors who had pretty good, started out pretty good, and when they got to be lame ducks, they weren't as good as they were before because they are not fettered by the specter of running for office again.
But she's got a partner over at at Adelup. Her lieutenant governor wants the job. He's been pretty vocal.
Yeah, well, he is her lieutenant governor.
The same thing that we saw with Kamala Harris having to answer for the 4 years, the disaster that was the Biden administration that she was 50% of. That's, boy, you want to talk about an albatross over your neck.
And you'll notice that nobody has ever run from lieutenant governor for governor and been elected. It's a tough chair to jump off of because you get the blame for all of the bad stuff your governor did, and you don't get any of the credit.
You got to do it like Joe Ada. You got to wait a term.
That's right.
Just let it go. Let Ricky Berdalia run the place for a while, and then come in with that pretty song and all of your commercials done by Speaker Forbes.
There you go.
That was a time. That was a time. Your Honor, always a pleasure talking with you. Doug's veto in the can. Look forward to hearing from you on Thursday morning as you broadcast from another secret location. Though he's not alone, hugging a kiss to Auntie Lou.
Thank you, Ray. See you then.
You know it. 888-8255, 888-TALK is the telephone number. I don't know. That's the ponder it in my head, as you look at the last couple of years of any administration and realizing that they're probably not going to be, going out and buying more stickers from Chris Biacchino for the back of your car, something like that. To what degree, as I said, does anybody have to pay any attention to any lame duck governor? And to the degree that Doug Moylan looks like, and the way that Bob Klitsky is inferring, that they have, for all intents and purposes, pressed the pause button. And I don't know, maybe there's not a whole lot of people press the pause button on things anymore. Maybe, back in the olden days when you were requesting a song from me on the radio, you'd get the song that was playing, and then you press the pause button, and you wait until I stop talking, and then release the pause button, and maybe you're going to catch the whole song this time. Yeah. Well, no, don't use that so much anymore. So I wonder if people still have got that sense of incredible and critical timing. Studio time, 8:59. Oh man, I'm getting the meme machine is buzzing. I got something here from Peter Sumtis. I don't know if I'll have time to address this between now and I've got guests coming in the studio here in just a couple of minutes. We're going to be talking about another alternatives, medical alternatives, because we got just Guam Memorial Hospital around here and GRMC and Navy Hospital. Some people get to the Philippines and do their medical work there. Some of you go to the mainland and Hawaii for that, but there's another alternative. And it's a lot easier to get to now as a result of some of the airline moves. That on the way. Stick around, bro.
An international showdown. I'm Tom Graham, Fox News. President Trump claiming victory after Colombia's president initially refused to allow migrant repatriation flights into his country. That prompted a tariff threat from the Trump administration.
President Trump told Fox last night that Colombia's president did a total about-face after that tariff threat was clear, that it would be crushing. Here's what he was putting in motion. Emergency 25% tariffs on all goods coming into the United States. In 1 week, those tariffs would raise to 50%. A travel ban and immediate visa revocation on Colombian government officials, all allies and supporters, visa sanctions on all party members, family members, and supporters of the Colombian government, enhanced customs and border protection inspections of all Colombian nationals and cargo on national security grounds, and IEEPA treasury, banking, and financial sanctions to be fully imposed.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich there. Colombia, the second largest supplier of coffee beans to the U.S. Immigration agents say they made nearly 1,000 arrests Sunday after a series of raids. President Trump's border czar targeting migrants in Chicago.
Tom Homan was on the ground, and a DHS official tells me that the next stop is going to be New York City. And Tom Homan tells Fox News that yesterday's sting removed multiple national security threats from the streets here in Chicago. That includes aggravated sex offenders, child predators, convicted murderers, members of the TDA gang, and a few collateral arrests. Homan praised the sweeping multi-agency immigration operation, FBI, DEA, ATF, ICE, all involved. Also on the ground here was top DOJ official, acting Deputy U.S. Attorney General Emil Bove.
Fox's Matt Finn in Chicago. U.S. public health officials have been told to stop working with the World Health Organization. CDC sending out a memo to senior leaders to await further guidance. Previously, President Trump issued an executive order to begin the process of withdrawing the U.S. from the WHO. America is listening to Fox News.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that family vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,000 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña 475-4545 or Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance. Tooth decay is the most common non-communicable disease in the world, and it's preventable. February is National Children's Dental Health Month. Guam Dental Society is holding a dental health fair at the Micronesia Mall Center Court Sunday, February 16th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's to help bring community awareness, especially to parents, the importance of good oral hygiene and regular dental checkups. Come and meet the dentists in your community. Learn and enjoy face painting, balloon art, raffles, and so much more at the GDS Dental Health Fair.
Is coming to the U.S. military as President Trump once again breaks out his executive pen. Fox's Jennifer Griffin's at the Pentagon.
An executive order for a new space-based missile defense shield for the U.S. homeland. Another executive order is expected to ban transgender troops from serving in the military, according to the New York Post, and could impact an estimated 14,700 transgender troops already serving, according to the Palm Center. An executive order to reinstate with back pay the 8,000 U.S. troops separated from service for refusing to take the COVID vaccine during the pandemic. Still an open question about the fate of the Pentagon's Inspector General, one of the 17 independent IGs who were fired by President Trump this weekend.
Newly confirmed Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the U.S. military will largely eliminate its DEI programs. The CIA is further explaining its latest analysis, now suggesting COVID-19 likely leaked from a Chinese lab. Fox's Alexandria Hoff.
The CIA's new position on this isn't the result of a new administration. This assessment was ordered and completed under President Biden. For years, the CIA said it didn't have enough evidence to make a determination on COVID's origin. During a bulk of that time, scientists who floated the lab leak theory were cast off by the mainstream. Pretty much anyone who put out that idea was cast off as conspiracy peddling. The CIA now joins the FBI and Energy Department in favoring the theory. It is not concrete, though. A statement from the CIA spokesperson reads in part, the CIA assesses with low confidence that a research-related origin of the COVID-19 pandemic is more likely than a neutral origin based on the available body of reporting.
Chinese authorities dismissing the analysis as unhelpful. On Wall Street, stocks finishing mixed. The Dow up 289 points, but the tech-heavy NASDAQ took a nosedive, down 612 points. Surging popularity of low-cost Chinese artificial intelligence company called DeepSeek resulted in losses for big tech stocks. I'm Tom Graham, and this is Fox News.
Whoever said no risk, no reward has never been sued. Hi, I'm Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and our job for over 70 years has been to help businesses just like yours manage risk. Manage risk? We will never be able to totally eliminate the myriad of risks every business faces, but we can help you manage them and recover when disaster strikes. From mom and pop operations to high-rise hotels, we're the experts businesses have counted on for many years. Call me today at 777-2668 for a free risk review and consultation.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
It's hard to believe, but Security Title is celebrating 25 years. This milestone reflects the dedication of our employees, who are as passionate about our work as we are about our community. We are deeply grateful to the realtors, lenders, attorneys, investors, and to all the buyers and sellers we serve. Your support has kept our doors open for the past 25 years and is the reason for our success. Security Title looks back with gratitude and forward with optimism to the journey ahead. Thank you, Guam.
6 after 9, portions of the program brought to you by the guys over at APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. How about the dudes over at Wendy's, not Wendy's, but Cold Stone Creamery, sister company? You know what they're interested in doing? Making sure that you have the absolute most special Valentine's Day ever. And Valentine's night, Cold Stone Creamery with their incredible truffles are forever ice cream cupcakes. What? What did you say, Ray? Ice cream cupcakes. Is that a thing? Is that some kind of fantasy that you had in your head? Like those cupcakes that we were going to make out of empanada. We'd put the wrapping around the outside. That's the cup. And then the empanada stuff on the inside with the little pieces of chicken. And we'd cover it up with, No. That one's in my head. But this is for real. Fudge truffle decadence with ice cream cupcakes and heart-shaped ice cream cakes. Now, you can look at this at coldstonecreamery.com. You can also buy them at coldstonecreamery.com. And a reminder, Valentine's this year is going to be on a Friday night in the middle of the Cope North exercise. Every restaurant on Guam is going to be absolutely jam-packed. If you haven't made your reservations yet, please do so now. Otherwise, you might as well figure out who's going to get to Jay Areola first. There it is. News, weather, all of that together right here in The Point.
Bringing you closer to the action. Any speaker, anytime. Watch and listen live on ThePOINT.gu.
I got it. 8 after 9 o'clock in the morning. It's the Ray Gibson Show. 888-825-888-TALK. Kim Akins, empanada cupcakes. It's a thing that needs to happen. It is a thing that needs to happen. There's I might have a picture in my files on the phone about somebody else that was doing some culinary adventuring with Chamorro recipes and asking kind of what if, like they do over at Mezcla. At any rate, in the studio and on the visuals right now, her name is Aichi Chow, and how do I say this? Ni hao.
Ni hao.
Hi. I did it right?
Have a day.
Thank you very much. It's been a long time since I've had a chance to use that kind of language. Don't we have Chinese New Year coming up?
Yeah. Actually, today is the New Year Eve.
Yes, just started.
Today?
Yes.
Is the beginning of it. Oh,
no,
well,
tomorrow is the beginning of the year.
Okay.
But today is the New Year Eve, Chinese
New Year's Eve. Okay,
yes.
It's all happening together in my head. I've also got, you'll hear another voice in the background. I'm just going to leave the microphone on. That's Eddie Sharkey Cruz is in the studio here this morning, and I gotta do a shout to you. One of the things that I see every day as I make my way to and from work and afternoon workouts and stuff, I always pass by John F. Kennedy High School, and I tell you what, that little garden that you put together and the work that you and the classmates did to get another statue up there, I thought that was incredible. And I'm so glad to see that not only did you put it up there, but you guys are out there maintaining it as well.
Exactly.
So there's something like that.
Our pride.
Pride. Yeah.
And I think everybody should take pride in Guam. One little piece here, one piece there. And commercial buildings should take care of their frontages on the roadway.
Me and you, and we'll just go down there and pull that ugly fence down.
Yeah.
And because we didn't have the fence. We didn't need the fence back in the olden days.
That's correct.
Because we didn't have a Kmart for the kids to run back and forth to. I mean, the only thing across the street from you back in those days was vocational rehab.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, we all got the same memories. But Eddie sends me a note a couple of weeks ago. He says, hey, do me a favor. I got some people coming in from the China Medical University Hospital in Taichung. Can I get them on the air? And I said, absolutely. Guam, 160,000 people, as you know, Aichi. 150,000, 160,000 50,000 people. And we've got just the old hospital over here, Guam Regional Medical City, and they've got a ton of great specialties as well. Navy Hospital, if you got a way to get in there. But for a lot of people, sometimes it comes down to different options. And the options so far for a lot of people are go to the mainland or Hawaii, Philippines, St. Luke's Medical City. But as Sharkey points out, they're about at capacity with their patients and our patients. So everybody says, okay, where else can I go? Now I'm looking at a magazine that she sent out, and my cousin Tedo is one of the patients here. And then there's a story I was reading a little bit earlier about how you guys took care of a girl named Diana, and she had problems with atrial fibrillation.
Yes.
There's lots of stuff that you guys do out there. Tell me a little bit about the China Medical University Hospital.
Okay. First, our hospital in Taiwan, even though we have a name with China, okay? We are in Taiwan, Taichung City.
Free China. Yes.
Okay, and then, I'm here like every year. Actually for the past 9 years, our team has already provided our service to over 1,000 patient visits from Guam.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And then since we have an agreement with the local insurance company, like Slate Care, Take Care, Stay Well, and Nick Care. So, we are here to be an alternative for the local people. I mean, to think about maybe for some disease, you can find a solution at our hospital. Okay.
We'll talk about some of the specialties first, but I do want to suggest that number 1,000. That number should be going up soon because we now enjoy a direct flight between Guam and Taiwan. And Taipei, as a matter of fact. So I would fly to Taipei, and then from Taipei, take a bus into Taichung.
Oh.
Okay.
How do you get that?
It's even better than that.
Really?
Tell him, Archie.
Okay. For the Guam people, we provide the free airport pickup and delivery.
Hey.
So once you get to not actually you are arrived in Taipei, but you actually arrive at Taoyuan International Airport. Okay. It takes about 19 minutes. The drive from airport to the Taichung City. Okay, so
more if you go with a slow bus,
or you have a typhoon.
More, like that.
And, especially for those people who are disabled to walk and also walk slowly. For those patients, I know it's a friendly service. Okay, you just get to the airport, give us a call, and then someone will pick you up.
Interesting.
From the airport. And then before the patient get to the Taichung, we also, provide a very, outstanding coordination. Logistic management for the patient. Before you arrive, we will tailor-make your treatment plan for you. And then we will help you to do the accommodation in Taichung, especially for family member. And we know nobody wants to go off-island treatment, leave your family, out of country. So before you come to us, we will discuss the precise treatment plan with you. We try to, provide the shortest, medical treatment.
Yeah, because you don't want people to be away from home so long. So Dr. Akimoto, as an example, is my. I don't think he knows it.
He just called me. He just called me last week. We have a conference call.
Okay.
He said he's trying to send a patient to us. I told him I'm ready because that you ain't gonna start the direct flight. Starting from April 2nd.
Yeah.
So every week we have a direct flight Wednesday and Saturday. And even now, China Airlines, they resumed the direct.
That's right. They resumed it. We knew that was going to happen when they first said, United is going to fly. Then we said, okay, these guys, everybody else is going to start flying as well because they see now that there's a demand for that kind of thing. So that's the good news. Now we can talk about some of the specialties and things like that. But as an example, I don't necessarily have any medical issues that I need to worry about right now. My BMI is under 30, so I'm happy. But I try to do a medical checkup, an executive checkup every year.
Come to us.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you can come to us for medical checkup.
Well, what do I get? What's your package look like?
Oh, really depends on your plan.
Right.
Some for some certain insurance company for different age and different gender, they have a different package.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So, but if you have a deep bucket, you have more money. Of course, you can get you the the whole package.
No. I'm going to call the guys. I'm sure the Take Care has got an agent there that I can talk to. So if I'm taking my medical there, if I do the executive checkup or whatever you want to call it at your hospital, then and I decide, I think I want to get an ultrasound of this. Then all I got to do is say, okay, put that in there. If I want different kind of blood work or whatever, put that in there, and then call the guys over at Take Care and ask them to cover that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have to receive your LOA. I mean, a letter of authorization first, and then we can, receive the patient like you.
Okay.
To us.
So, how many different facilities do you have there? And we were having this conversation before the interview, and I've had the occasion to be in at least one of the hospitals that you've got there once upon a time. The way I got there was I wandered into another China Medical University hospital facility, and after I started telling them who I was looking for, and they said, "Oh, he's not here. He's in that one over there." And so the lady and I got on a bus, and she took me to another facility that was also China Medical University Hospital, and so I'm like, "Wow, this is amazing." How many different buildings do you have?
We have 8 different buildings.
8 different buildings.
For different function and different departments, okay? And since we are the medical center, actually we are the second largest medical networking in Taiwan.
Okay.
So only in the main branch, the one you visited, there are over 2,000 beds, and we have over 600 doctors in our main branch. So
it's amazing.
And for the outpatient per month, there's a 190,000.
That's a lot. That's a. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and then we
That's a
proceed-
huge churn. That's a lot of patients.
We proceed over 6,000 surgery per month. So that's why we accumulated many experience, and we are ready to take care of you guys. I mean, especially for Guam people. Just now you mentioned the woman, I should say,
Diana?
the Diana
With the AF, atrial fibrillation.
and because she waiting for a long time to receive her treatment, and then because she has that kind of disease, she cannot get back to work for over 6 months.
That's a very specific issue here with a lot of people, and I'm familiar with the procedure to reset the heart and get rid of the fibrillation, but there can be complications if it's not done right. So if it's nice to go someplace where you do a lot of atrial fibrillation procedures.
Yes, and then especially with the select care help. And then she can come to us. And then after our treatment, like a week, and, he's probably stay in Taiwan for like 10 days. And then she came back. Actually, she brought me a souvenir last night and took it to the hotel to me because now she can get back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why, and then
because the ticker works again.
She thinks she probably have to come to, come to our hospital for twice for different procedure, but we make one stop treatment. We
so
treat
they have all
her
the
at
specialists
once.
there. So if you have any complications or anything.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember the ones that I'm most interested in right now. So wait. Hair transplant. What about cosmetic surgery? Do we have a place there? You guys got cosmetic surgery?
I'm our international patient, not only from Guam. I have many patients from Brunei too. So I have many Brunei handsome guy come to us for remove their freckles on face. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so we can get rid of the freckles. If we can get rid of the freckles, that's tattoo removal's piece of cake.
Yes.
But what about, with the male pattern baldness, receding hairlines, that kind of thing? Can you do the hair transplants from where it grows in the back to where it might grow better in the front?
We have some solution, but I cannot guarantee you because it's too many, too complicated issues.
Well, there are a lot of variables, and sometimes the issues of why you might be losing your hair has less to do with your scalp and more to do with gut health.
Correct.
But kind of moves me into the question is, all right, so I imagine in my head, and I know because I've been there, so it is a beautiful hospital location. The place that I was at the most, there was a stinky tofu place within walking distance. Yeah, the night market, which is absolutely great. But and then across the way there was a Starbucks with the internet and everything, and you get a real good feel for the vibe of the city while you're there. But I guess the point of the question that I'm about to ask is, I'm seeing Western so-called Western medicine there.
Yes.
Western medically trained doctors, trained nurses, and you're involved in some of the specialties that you would recognize at any hospital anywhere in the Western world. But this is Taiwan. And we're Chinese people. So is there a lot of Eastern medicine, meditation, acupuncture, herbs that can be made part of the recovery process?
Yeah. You bring out a very good question and a very good issue, okay? We call China Medical University Hospital, right? And then for the very, very beginning, 60 years ago, more than 65 years ago, originally we are the fundamental for Chinese medicine. And, all the Chinese doctor, famous one, all our alumni. Okay, and then after the 40 years, we start to bring in the Western medication into our hospital. So now, since we carry so many advanced, all those medical equipment, so we can conduct many different surgeries. In addition to that, especially for cancer patient, in addition to Western medication, treatment. After you remove the surgery, remove the tumor after the surgery, many doctor will apply the Chinese medicine for regain the energy.
Very important.
Yeah, so, we both apply the Chinese and Western. We do the integration for Chinese and, traditional Chinese medication and Western medication. We combine together to treat our patient.
What about some of the other complicated transplants? And I appreciate your answer very much. And so it's not just here's some green tea after your surgery is done and get out. There's going to be some more holistic medicine, something for the body, something for the mind.
For some patients, they are scared of surgery. So, Chinese medicine like acupuncture and Chinese medication, they also is a good solution for cure the pain.
And relieve from the anxiety.
Yes.
Yeah. This is it's an interesting conversation because I kind of just had this with another friend of mine that he was suffering from incredible back pain. And he went to everybody, and they said, well, you got to do this, you got to do that. All these treatments that we can do, we can rebuild you with implants and other technology. But in the meantime, I might be able to help control the pain with acupuncture. And so he signed up for the entire acupuncture program and was surprised at the nature of number one, of the skill of the doctor, the dispenser, but also how much better he felt after getting something like that. So, there's no reason why you cannot combine the back and forth. Dr. Hao Wen of the Guam Medical Association on Guam is saying, good morning, Aichi, welcome back to Guam, and his endorsement that medical care in Taiwan is excellent. So
Thank you.
Yeah, it's one of your doctor buddies is tuned in this morning. He's my doctor buddy, and we get together every once in a while over fried lumpia for me and spicy Vietnamese pho for him. Earl Garrido asking about language barriers. Earl, I'm not having a hard time understanding what Aichi is saying, but there is possible that when you get there, you may be in front of a doctor that may only speak Chinese.
Oh, yeah, I really learn. I really feel the language barrier, not only in Guam, but also in Taichung. But, but everyone, working hard, to try to solve the barrier, issue. Like, here, just because I'm not come from the medical background, but I know, at my back, I have the whole doctor stand behind me. So once I encounter anything, any question, I can line them. I can just send a message to them. 24 hours, and then
Can I interject in that?
That's
real
Line.
Quickly?
Line is their version of WhatsApp, and everybody has it on their phone. Yeah, go ahead.
From the time we landed, Aichi's team, somebody from her team was always with us. So if we had a question, and it didn't matter whether it was a certain treatment or where to pay or whatever it was, or to check on an appointment, they were there.
I'm familiar. I'm familiar with this. So I'm just trying to respond for the Earl.
Yeah,
wondering about what
nobody should
happens.
have a problem with the barrier because it's and then of course we've got Google Translate and everything else at our fingertips. So, but her team was fabulous.
Well, I know. I'm just wanted to assuage everybody. I never had a problem understanding. And if my recollection for the person that I was visiting at the time, we had a doctor. He was more comfortable speaking in Chinese, and so there was a translator there, and the translator spoke English about the same way you and I do.
Yeah.
So we were able to get to an understanding, and there might be some documentation.
So that's the difference between her hospital
and
other hospitals. Yeah.
And numbers are numbers.
Yes. So they were there with us all the time. So we didn't have to go try to figure out which line to go to, whatever. And everything fell into place. They arranged everything by the minute.
Well, let me back up here because I'm familiar with your relationship with them. But if you're comfortable, can you tell the listeners why you were there?
My wife had been trying to get knee replacement surgery, and because of one reason or another, trying to get a referral or get something, it became more complicated. And so she also had the fear of what it was going to be like and everything. But because we had family members, my two first cousins, their husbands had surgery there. One had hip surgery, one had knee replacement. And just their testimony, we were impressed because we were waiting to go to either St. Luke's or somewhere on the mainland. But, because of the distance and the time and the travel, going to the mainland is very uncomfortable if you've had some kind of disability.
I don't have any disabilities. I just don't like sitting in a chair for 20 hours.
It's crazy. So she decided she was going to take a chance to go to Aichi's hospital. And just the level of care was just blew us away. And they encourage family being involved in the healing process, which is a new process that they're trying to do in the U.S. mainland. But over there, you can either hire a caregiver to help you with the whatever functions, going to the bathroom and whatever, or you can have family members stay in the hospital room.
Preferable.
And that softens the blow of the impact of the language barrier and also the level of treatment. Because now
let me ask this question. So you have a facility there where I might be the patient, but I could bring in, say, my daughter could help me out, Sister Shelley could come by and make sure that I'm okay. But they would stay in the facility with me?
Yes.
As opposed to you're the patient, you stay in the hospital, and then all these people are going to be in the hotel. And trust me, there's a hotel around every corner in this area. But you'd be separated, so you'd actually set it up like here's the patient room is also.
Yeah, we try to accommodate one patient in a single room. So if you stay in a single room, your family member can stay with you. But, for some family member, they don't even want to stay in the hospital for 24 hours. No. Yeah, so our hospital's location, there's a various hotel around us, just in walking distance. Mm-hmm. You don't have to drive, just walk there. That's correct.
We stayed 3 blocks away, and it was 2 minutes.
Well, I think you guys know where I was. All I got to say is that there was a Starbucks across the street. That used to be good for directions, but like everywhere else, there's a Starbucks across every street.
This hospital, there is a Starbucks in the hospital.
In the actual hospital.
2 Starbucks.
Two Starbucks.
What about and we talk about pricing and things like that, and it's nice to know that my insurance company, Take Care, is partners with you guys.
Yes.
But are there any procedures and processes there where even my buddy Greg over at Take Care would say, whoa there, hey, maybe we can get this done there, but maybe for the other one we'll need to go off to a different hospital in a different country.
Okay,
are your
first
prices
you have
reasonable?
to get your primary doctor to have a referral later.
Okay.
And then you have to inform the Take Care you want to come to CMUH in Taichung.
Yeah.
And then they will ask us to provide the quotation. Okay, and then, by the way, at the same time, when Take Care inform us there's a member want to come, they will send over all your medical record to us.
Very nice.
Yeah, so we will ask our specialists to review your medical record first, and then we tailor-make your treatment plan. After we tailor-make your treatment plan, we send it to Take Care to review. And, they review how many days and what kind of implant you're going to use and how many days, for how long, and even the follow-up. And then if the takers think it is the reasonable, and then they will start issue that LOA to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes just based on my desire, I should be able to say, I want to have this. This is an important procedure. I'd like to have it fairly close to home. Taiwan's that way for 4 hours on an airplane, and they'll pick me up at the airport. They'll take me to the hospital if that's where I want to go, and then knock out the procedure, and then the follow-up therapy after that. And then I would presume that you would send all of my paperwork either back to Dr. Wen or Dr. Akimoto, correct?
Yes.
And so he'd be able.
And that's the beauty of
he'd
it.
be able to
is
see
they
everything.
have relationships with doctors here.
Yeah.
So you don't have to fly back in 6 weeks or whatever. If there's no complications, the follow-ups can be done here, and they have that arrangement. So it softens the burden of the finances.
You were talking about cancers. Do you have any specific cancers that you guys, completely specialize in? What's your recovery rate for things like breast cancer, lung cancer, pancreatic cancer, small cell carcinoma, that kind of thing?
Oh, okay. Ray, actually, China Medical University is a sister hospital with MD Anderson Cancer Center in Texas. Okay, so, for all those cancer treatment, they already have guidelines and the standards. So we follow the U.S. standard, okay, first thing. And then the second thing is last year, we just launched a very smart weapon. It called proton beam therapy. Proton beam therapy. Okay?
Never heard of. Oh, proton beam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Super science me. Go ahead.
Yes, and we just launched it. Last year in July. So now we have many patients from Indonesia, Malaysia, to come over to use our facility. So that one is good for especially for ENT cancer, not for rectal.
Right. Yeah.
And also good
Eye, ear,
for
nose,
kids.
throat. Good for kids.
Yeah, because those beam is
It's
very
concentrated.
focused
Yeah.
and concentrated. It
Ah.
won't hurt the normal issue around the tumor.
Right. So it goes just at the tumor, full strength on the tumor, but nothing else on the surrounding tissue.
Yes, and then the department head is a doctor from MD Anderson. It's a U.S. certified, Dr. Clifford Cho. Yes, also he was selected to be a good doctor in New York back to the 2006.
So,
year.
but to underscore this is the same kind of treatment that you would get stateside universities in states. The technology is the same. The treatments are the same.
Yes.
The protocols are all the same. And if you've heard about proton beam technology in states, you've got that now in Taiwan at CMUS, and so you can take advantage of that. One of the things that we've learned in the years since COVID-19. Is that there were a lot of people that needed to take the edge off and probably started drinking too much as a result of just nothing to do, pure boredom or maybe frustration with the systems. And I'm beginning to hear more and more about the need for liver transplants. And there are other organs, obviously, that can be harvested from somewhere and then transplanted. What about CMUS? You guys do a lot of transplants there?
Yeah, we are really good at the liver transplant, okay? But I shouldn't say, actually I have a patient consult here. In Guam consult us with the liver transplant.
Interesting.
But I should say we are really good at those complicated, cases. Like one of my Filipino patient, okay, he was given up by the American doctor and Singaporean doctor. So he came to us 7 years ago. Okay, so the whole team, the transplantation team, okay, do the liver transplant for him. So he, prolonged his life 7 years.
From what would normally have been a killer from cirrhosis,
yes,
etc.
Yes, so he was so grateful. The whole family was so grateful, and then he talked to the doctor, Dr. Jen. He say, so he became our evangelist that time 7 years ago. So he always like Eddie, to say if you have any disease in Philippines, you come over to us.
Yeah,
come over to CMUH. So, our center, we call International Center. We are a center, it's a team with a 7 case manager. We call case manager. Okay?
Yes, of course.
So once our patient got to the airport, I will assign one case manager to accompany our patient to go through the whole process of the treatment. Okay, so we have to make sure our service quality and also to make the family member at ease, not to worry too much. So sometime after the treatment, we will provide information to them. You should go this to eat, go that to travel.
Yeah.
You have to go to see the Summer Lake to have, yeah.
Or dinner at 101.
Yeah, for us, not just patient, we are friends.
Yes.
We have to make friends. Otherwise, friend is what's the trust coming from, right? So I think it's not easy to building the trust.
It's not.
But so, I'm very careful and sincerely to build up every step. To build up the trust between Guam people and Taiwanese people.
Well, if you got Sharky trusting you, you're in good shape. He doesn't just give away his love around here. Looking to see if there's any other comments. My doctor knows how to find you, right? So Akimoto knows how to find. Dr. Wen knows how to find IT, and so if my listeners want to know how to find you, should they go through their primary doctor? Should they talk to their insurance people first? Is there a website that you have in English that my listeners can go to so they can take a look at it?
Yeah, absolutely. We have in our website we have a special link, special content for Guam people.
Oh, just for Guam people?
Yes, so you can just click and go into. You can find a lot of information on our website.
A lot of testimony.
I'm sure. Well, as I said, I recognize some of the faces in the brochures that you've sent me, but now I'm kind of curious if there's a scanner. I don't have the scan thing here. I got to do this the old-fashioned way. CMUH.org. Where's that? TW for Taiwan. Stand by. Let's see what comes up on the screen and see where this might be able to go. Hold on. This is like the legislature's website. There it is. I see it. Okay. So we click on
go to the
English, clicking on EN for English, and that will pop up here in just a second. And as you said, there's once that goes through, it'll give me an idea of what to look for if I'm coming in from. I did. There's clicking on English. I'm slow. So where is the Guam stuff? Where do I find the Guam deal? I should read it. International Forum of Extracellular Vesicles Technology and Novel Therapeutics. Yes, I understood every word I just read there. No problem. Do you want to drive? Here's the mouse. We'll dig it out. Is it up here? Online registration, find a doctor, department over International Center. Okay, that's what she was. The heart with the cross on it. Click on that. And now department introduction. Click down. For Guam. Yes, there it is. You see it? It says for Guam. About us, expertise, access, flight information. So yes, we started all of it. Just not necessarily one mouse click away. Of course, maybe later on I'll just give you the link for just the For Guam section and post that up on the screen so everybody can see what we're talking about here.
I passed the test.
Their homework.
Yeah, well, actually, when Dr. Wen chimed in and said his hello and talks about how great the medical care is, as I said, I know I'm personally familiar with people that have gone through the process and they've raved about it, and now it's just a question of trying to figure out when that might be something that might apply to me. I'd love for an excuse to go to Taiwan. I'd only need one medical checkup a year that I know of, and maybe that's, as I say, another opportunity for me to try it. And once I've tried it, then maybe I can talk about it on the radio and tell everybody how great it was. And I might know a couple of people at United Airlines take some of the mileage I got to be able to get there.
It's good to have two executive checkups from different hospitals. So that way you got a second opinion. It's like having a good lawyer, right?
Ray, don't wait for have the serious disease and come to Taiwan, okay? You should come to Taiwan first to get to familiar the beauty of the Taiwan.
Oh, got it already. Listen, I told you the last time I was there for a week. I really only needed to be there for a couple of days.
Let's just come here for treatment. Come here for journey, for food,
for
shopping,
people,
for shopping.
Firehouse.
I don't know what the firehouse is.
They're making a girlfriend, but making friends.
There's also, and Eddie will know this as well. There are genetic connections that we have.
Oh, yeah.
They say that there is.
Aboriginal.
The Aboriginal, the Taiwanese Aboriginals are very, have they say that's where we come from.
We're connected.
Yeah, genetically we're connected to the Aboriginals, and when you see them, you look at them and say, "I swear I'm related to that guy."
That's my great grandfather's grandchild.
You get that sense out of there, and then there's also I gotta say this: there's an interesting sense of America in Taiwan as well.
Absolutely.
And there are parks there that are dedicated to the relationship between Taiwan and the United States of America. And when you look at their soldiers, when you look at the men and women in uniform in China, it's pretty clear the coconut didn't fall very far from the tree.
We talked about Cope Norfolk earlier.
Yeah.
We have the joint exercises, and their military comes over.
Yeah.
So, and they've always got a good relationship with us, And then, of course, there's some Asian countries that are talking about having some of their Air Forces stationed here for training and for
Singapore. I think that's
Thailand,
a done
Singapore,
deal.
Yes.
I suppose the other note on this is there are also numerous businesses in Taiwan that would like to come to Guam. There's numerous businesses from Taiwan that are already here.
Investors.
Investors. You see all that green space in Tumon? That's all Taiwanese owned as far as I know. And so
through our friend.
Yep. So,
I don't know.
Yes, through our friend. Hey, the whole Taiwan thing, the UA Taiwan thing, that's Carl. Carl's signature is all over that, and I'm not going to let that go.
Nobody gives him credit about that, but
I give him credit every chance I get.
Yeah, I do too.
God. I don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Donald Trump, God wanted Carl Gutierrez to stay on Earth.
Yep. Yes. Got to keep them prayers for both of them. 9:42 in the morning. Sharky, thank you very much for making the introduction.
Thank you, Ray.
And we're WhatsApp together now. So whenever you're in town, come on by. We'll do an interview. And if you got any cool doctors that you want to bring out, then they'll sit.
When it start the direct flight, and then I will take more doctors here.
That was the key. Thank you, United, for doing that. Absolutely, it's going to help healthcare on Guam, and it makes it easier for our people to have an interaction both economically and medically. So that it could even be medical tourism if you wanted to.
Do you have a referral office here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where?
No.
Okay.
No.
Soon.
No. Soon.
We'll have a referral
soon.
office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, she's a referral office. She will talk to you one-on-one if you need to.
I'm a walking office.
Okay, so how often are you here? How often do you come to Guam?
At least once a year, but in the future, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Once the direct flight's going, once a month.
That was a big hindrance was the direct flight. So because we had to go through Manila.
Oh God,
for me it's okay. The wife no.
Yeah. For when I went down when I went down that time, it was one of these. Okay, Guam, Osaka. I want to say I went down to Singapore, and then from Singapore back up. Finally found myself in the place. In fact, I slept in the airport in Osaka. That's how bad it was because you couldn't get a connecting flight. On the way home, I hung out with Jim Bigley in the slums of Repulse Bay in Hong Kong, and it was about this time. It was Chinese New Year, and he says, you shouldn't have come here. I said, why?
Yeah,
he says,
everything shuts down.
You're not going to be able to get to Guam.
Yeah, exactly.
All of the flights are booked. And we finally found somebody that we could kick off, and I was able to get back home after a week of being away. But now, as we say, direct flight, Guam to Taiwan and back within just a few days. And I don't think it's going to be very expensive. I think the
rates are good, and the way the exchange rate is, everything on travel going to Taiwan is good.
Well, I've not seen that.
Dollars is strong.
Dollar strong?
Yes.
U.S. dollar is very strong.
So it's a good timing to go to Taiwan.
I'll start paying attention to that. 9:44 in the morning. IG, thank you so much for coming by the radio station. Don't be a stranger. You come back anytime you want to.
Thank you.
And now that you know where the place is, Sharky, you can come
which
by.
door to get in?
It's one of those things. We don't keep both. It's a weird radio station thing. It's actually a real Joe thing.
Actually.
We don't keep the front door open when there's a possibility of rain. It's kind of an old building there, and the water will come right through the front door. And Joey doesn't like to mop it up when it's done, so it's easier to just say, come in the back, and we'll get it done that way. 9:45, Ray Gibson Show, probably going to continue. I'm going to grab some selfies with these pretty people. In the meantime, we'll find out what the big stories are with Joe Nuggan Charfris and the team in the newsroom at KUAM.
I'm Joe Nuggan Charfris. Here's a look at 3 stories you need to know for Tuesday, January 28th. Senator Tello Taitagui said it's time to prioritize fixing Guam's roads, introducing a bill that would allocate $10 million toward village road repairs. She's introduced Bill 39-38, calling for $10 million in excess revenues from the 2025 fiscal year budget to be directed to the Department of Public Works for village road repairs. Co-sponsors include Senators Sabina Perez, Chris Barnett, and Teresa Terlahi. Taitagui points to Guam's dangerous road conditions from potholes to uneven surfaces as a public safety issue that can no longer be ignored. She highlighted the Village Streets Master Plan from 2009, which identified $746 million worth of projects that remain largely unaddressed. She said the $10 million would be just the beginning, calling for continuous appropriations to make up for years of neglect. She urged her colleagues to prioritize public safety and infrastructure over non-essential spending. Are you for or against the Marine Corps relocation to Guam? The Navy is now accepting public comments on a programmatic agreement memo that supports the Marines relocating to Guam. The community has until March 10th to submit comments. The Navy says the memo provides new cultural and natural resources information associated with planned construction projects. The memo touches on the construction of a youth center at Anderson Air Force Base. You can view the memo on the Naval Facilities Engineering Systems Command Pacific Cultural Information webpage. And the Department of Rev and Tax announced that technical issues have left the driver's license examination branch unable to process transactions, resulting in extended wait times for customers seeking Guam driver's licenses and identifications. They will not be servicing new or walk-in customers today, and employees will contact affected customers to reschedule their appointments. DRT encourages the community to utilize the online portal myid.guam.gov for renewals and replacements if eligible. For these stories and more, make sure to visit KUAM.com. You can also stream our newscast on our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page. Don't forget to follow KUAM News on Instagram for the very latest. You can also watch us on Peacock. Jonigan Charfris, KUAM News.
76 Circle K introduces My Rewards 2.0, the loyalty program you love made even better. Save 5 cents per gallon every day just for being a member. Earn 1 point for every dollar you spend on fuel or store purchases. Plus, get 5 bonus points for every gallon when you purchase mid-grade or premium fuel. Redeem your points for big savings like up to 75 cents off per gallon or $20 gift certificates. Plus, enjoy exclusive club rewards, free hot dogs, coffee, and more. Download the My Rewards app today from the App Store or Google Play. 76 Circle K My Rewards 2.0. Better rewards, bigger savings.
What do you got to lose? What do you got to lose? It's a ponder. Again, the website, cmuh.org.tw, or just be on the lookout for China Medical University Hospital. They're out in the North District of Taichung in Taiwan, and many incredible memories of the place that I had a chance to stay at. I was at the time not a member of the family when I went, so they put me in a hotel ish building about 3 blocks away from the place where my pal was, and it was an interesting place because it was just so cosmopolitan. You know, got a little store over here, and that's where you go and get sodas and some gyms and Mountain Dews. They had all of those kinds of things. I remember walking because there was a betel nut stand not too far away from where I was staying, and I'd never had Taiwanese betel nut. I knew that they did it, but I'd never had any of it before, and I was going to go into that one there, but it was full of people that were putting it together. I could see what they were doing, but I couldn't understand what the process was. Where they take a green piece of betel nut, very similar to the way we do it around here, but they take the green one and they'll cut it into slices, half it up. And then they'll put a paste over it of some kind. And I never did get the flavor, get the explanation of what was in the paste. I think it was different for whoever you were buying it from. But I will recall that it tasted pretty good. You know, for the perspective of somebody that chews hard betel nut, Guam style, it was interesting to try soft style with that gel in it. You'd be surprised how many different cultures have betel nut trees growing on them, and how many different ways they found to enjoy chewing betel nut. So I thought that was nice. I wasn't able to buy it there because one of the other peculiarities of Taiwan is you can literally have a storefront within inches of a superhighway. and there's a So you ever try to walk on the beach when the tide is coming in, and there's a dry spot, and then you've got the rest of it is the ocean. So imagine the ocean now is an ocean of mopeds and vehicles, and you've got about 6 inches between there and the door front of the place. No back door. You coming in the front. I don't know how the hell people got in and out of the place. And I thought, well, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'll just. I found some way to get it before, but we went to a bunch of different beautiful parks and places where there's quite a lot of observations, if you will, of the relationship between Free China and the United States of America, including military uniforms and such. What was also interesting is the number of Chinese people, mainland Chinese that were there, and tourists. Like, you hear about all of the. Hear about Cold War or whatever it is, and the relationship between the Chinese peoples. Yeah, but you would go to these tourist places, and there were just as many mainland Chinese, as there were anybody else. And the people that I was with thought that they were pretty good at spotting the mainland Chinese, as opposed
tell the difference?
Yeah, they could tell the difference.
I asked this guy one time if he was Chinese, and he got really upset.
Why?
And he said, "No, I'm from Taiwan."
Oh,
and I said same thing, and he was just like fuming.
Nope, no. There's
no, man.
You will find multiple distinctions between the two of them. Politically, for sure. 9:51 in the morning. A couple of things that I was talking about earlier coming out of the Hawaii Free Press, and every once in a while there'll be something in there you just go, that's kind of interesting. So allow me to share this with you, since we're in a little bit of a medical vein. And it was China, the CMUH, Chinese Medical University, that in 2022, I want to say, sent over a ton of masks because there was COVID going on, and they thought it might be a good idea to augment the stash of masks that we have here with the ones that they had there. I mean, who knew at the time that they didn't do anything? But if it makes you feel better, here's your mask. Story here. In the fall of 1899, rumors of bubonic plague spread through Chinatown in Hawaii. Residents kept the information to themselves. Local people distrusted American doctors because the territory had handled a recent cholera epidemic in a heavy-handed way, injuring local businesses and intruding on people's privacies. Oh, my God, sounds like COVID. In December, a young bookkeeper named Yu Chong died, and it became clear that the cause was the Black Death. This is in Hawaii. Chinese counsel Yang Wei-pin acknowledged the fearsome disease, but said the board of the health's approach to solving the problem was unnecessary and ruinous to merchants. He said the board of health was operating out of a racial animus to Chinese people. Others, however, fearful of contracting the disease themselves, applauded the targeted fires and news editorials. The good work of destroying Chinatown with fire was proceeded with this morning when the balance of the shacks in the block of Puahi, Nu'uanu, and Smith Streets was burned down. The next day, a fire that was supposed to have been carefully managed burst out of control. The high winds leveled the densely packed neighborhood. 38 acres of Chinatown, representing almost a fifth of the city's buildings, were turned to ash. The Hawaiian Star declared on January 20th of 1899, Chinatown is wiped out. 5,000 people lost their homes, jobs, businesses, and possessions. They were forced to live in detention camps until the threat of disease had passed. Many received financial compensations for your losses, but it was hard to make up for what had been destroyed. Soon afterwards, the epidemic disappeared. According to Richter, the author, 71 people had been diagnosed with the bubonic plague. 61 of them had died over the course of 2 months. Now, I don't know how you want to deal with that particular story where they said, oh, we got the plague here, Black Death. What do you want to do? Burn it all down? Gotcha. Shoot. No problem. And so the point, though, of the article, I suppose you can look at it and say, oh, my God, what a terrible thing to have done. We were kind of heavy-handed with our treatment of this. But if it works, it works. Unlike COVID, we went through all of that stuff, vaccine, etc.
Death.
You know what I'm excited about? One of Jerry Roberts' great wishes here, when we were talking about things, is that one of the things that we wanted Trump to do, and it's happening, is that we wanted to ensure that any men and women of the armed forces of the United States of America that were forced to take the vaccine or give up what had been their careers in the military, many of them got out. Many of them were pushed out. And I'm delighted to see that they are now, if you want it, I guess, being reinstated to the family. I'd hope that it comes with a full-throated apology as well. But I don't know. I've spent some time on Twitter a little bit earlier and was delighted to see, at least according to the headline on Twitter, that the guys over at the WHO have decided that they're going to embark on a course of discharging employees. Oh, because Trump pulled out the rug under the money rug out from under the WHO and said, we're not going to be here anymore with you guys. And as a result of that, the WHO says they don't need the people. They don't have all the people that they've got. They're going to have to let go of everybody because they just don't got the money. It's 9:55. What's that? Hi, Ray and Point team. Why is nobody calling out the Josh Tenorio? Hold him accountable. Look, what he is the chairman of Guam Beautification and Homelessness. He's not doing his job. What about the Guam Public Works to bush cut the schools and roadways? If there's no workers, round up the homeless people. Give them jobs to bush cut, sweep, and clean out the roadways. This will give them an opportunity to make an honest living instead of panhandling and depending on public assistance. Also place them in a land trust land where they can have a job to farm and sell the produce. Wow, you got to be careful. I appreciate your comments. Who writes this? Okay, just Nadine. Nadine, I appreciate your comments. I really, really do. The problem is when we start looking into what I consider to be kind of common sense solutions like that, there's the accusation that says, oh, my God, how backwards is that? This is not 1870. It's not 1970. You know, you got dignity, blah, 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 compassion, blah, 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 blah. To which I say, no.
Oh my God.
You want to be compassionate, take them to your house.
Why do you hate them so much? You want to help them?
We want to help these guys. And there's nothing like having a purpose in life to get that done. Maybe you're not coming at me with an advanced degree in something. But I can find something that you are capable of doing if you want to do it. And get the job done. If you think this might be the highest rung of the ladder of life that you can climb is to go stand over at the Kapuha intersection with a sign in your hand out, you know, what's the goal for today is just get enough money so I can get vape or cigarettes, 6-pack of beer, and find some place to go and hang out and charge my phone so I can still, I don't know, Wordle or whatever it is that they're. I don't know. I'm sure everybody's addicted to the TikTok, but I'm with you. I think there's got to be another way of doing things, and I get that there are the bleeding hearts out there, and I get that there are people that believe that there's another way to do it, but wow, there's been an Office of Homelessness now for the last 6 years,
and some of those people are like the horse. You can lead them to water.
Yeah, there's that.
You can't make them drink, and they'll possibly drown you.
Boy, listen to the sound of us talking like our fathers and grandparents.
That's disgusting.
Daddy never suffered any of that stuff. You know, somebody comes over to the house and says, "Can I borrow some money?" My recollection is this guy worked in the warehouse for the day. He would work. Yeah, you want some more money? You come back tomorrow. But sometimes the work just was too much for them. Go find somebody else to just give me some dough, and be surprised. And this is back in my mind, it's not that long ago. But this would be in the 1970s. That was the way it was handled back then. And if you didn't want to work, but you fine, but you can't hang around here and bum money. You got to go someplace else. Yeah. We've always had that. As I said, there's at least one other story about how they're dealing with the homeless in Hawaii. I told you earlier about a return to home deal that they have got. I'm also somewhat concerned that they might be thinking, well, at least what we'll do is we'll get them on an airplane and send them to Guam. But wait, what's the airfare between here and there? Maybe that's the thing that we got to do is talk to the guys over at United. Say anything coming out of Hawaii. If that guy doesn't have a return ticket, then make Hawaii pay twice. Make them pay double if they're sending him out here. I still believe it's going on. I still believe I'm with everybody else. Every once in a while, it's like you get used to seeing the ones that you know are from around here, guys in the neighborhood that are chronically homeless. And then every once in a while, you go someplace and just go, she's not from here. And I'm seeing a lot more she's not from here or he's not from here. I'm thinking maybe he might be an expat from somewhere. How do we send him back? Really? 10 o'clock already? All right, KUSG again. Let's jump to Trump news.
Florida, the president painting an optimistic view of his first week in office.
The golden age of America has officially begun, and I think that's a good thing for us to talk about.